1, 2. T-O-M. Teachers of Maat. Who am I? Today the scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to reemerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words, sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the Pet, word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kemp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip was slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary studies, spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is cold that. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that, ocean motions. I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing. Knee of speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Pert, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution you can't escape from. We're Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keep a record on the record, I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, Trinity. We are not the same, not even simile. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, can't lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a whom I earned. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is sound for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the trap. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Ba is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks are stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living. We're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yep, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect. Best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Necha, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, nectar, Kurt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt, not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep.
Hotep, peace and love. Hotep, we live. Peace and love, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hotep. Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to the Teachings of Maat Study Guide Sunday. Thank you all for joining us. Today's topic is the Pert Heru, the Book of the Dead, or the Book of Life, by the great PTAH Aten Tehuti. Before we begin, we will begin as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Unki and Maat, Un in S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Min Hepapet and Maat, Her in Hu Kui, Her Iku. I live for Maat, I exist within her, I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Welcome, everybody. Subscribe. We got some background music for the introduction. To introduce everybody on the panel, I am the great Atef Rimkem Maat. I'm the chairman of the organization Teachings of Maat. I'm also a student of the master teacher, the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. I'm the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Maat, a true-hearted follower based on truth and ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, dedicated to learning the metal netta, and a loyal defender of Maat. Next, we have the great General Heru to you, Ahati Maat. Ahati Maat was taught under the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating, and he is responsible for the creation of this weekly study guide. Next, we have the mighty Menkhu Ra Meri Maat. Menkhu specializes in training, educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live, and he shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Menkhu has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies, providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in the Madison area for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for Madison School Community Recreation, including Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 programs for youth. And our presenter for the night, the mighty scribe, PTAH Aten Tehuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Maat, a scribe of Tehuti and Maat. He studies under the master teacher, Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening dormant DNA and reversing negative hypnosis. Welcome, everybody, to an excellent show tonight. We are going to have a beautiful show. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love to her for that wonderful introduction, Atef.
Thank you. Thank you. Mini Uk, my brother. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I need we gonna get some new tones, brother.
No, you're not getting no new tones this week.
Tones don't come with this one.
No, don't come with this one. We're working on some things in the background, working on bringing some projects forward. So
that's what's up.
So there's definitely gonna be some pauses and it just depends on what comes forth. But I want to be able to preserve some things so I can bring a collection at one time of some just fresh music, fresh tones for everyone to listen to as a storybook. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, listen, my good brother. After what you allowed me and Menkhu to hear last week, a little taste, I could wait, brother. That was something serious. Oh man, that was beautiful, man. 2 hours for that, my brother. So I know you cooking. I know you cooking up. Yes, welcome everybody in the chat. Welcome. I see you, Angela Gates. Peace and love. Peace and love to Nefa Caporet. Peace and love to Stephen E. We see you, good brother. And welcome back, Nicholas Noetic. We see you, good brother. Peace and love.
Brother Menkhu Ra, would you like to talk to the people about the event?
Peace. Yes. I need hotel to hello everyone. Hopes everybody's doing well. Looking forward to. I think we're almost exactly 2 months away from the Awakening Pathways of Awakening celebration in Los Angeles, California, October 28th. We look forward to gathering and meeting you in person. So this will be the first in-person meetup for the family, for the community. This will be an opportunity for everyone that has been coming to the pod class to actually meet Saba Tehuti. I'm very much looking forward to being in all of your energy again. The brothers Saba Tehuti, his goddess, and the brothers that's on the panel being into their energy again. When these brothers got their Ren, I had the opportunity to meet them in person. And so, yes, so as you can see, Ani's background is the flyer for the event. We will have a beautiful agenda. We will have vendors. You're welcome to become a vendor. If you're an entrepreneur, you have a product that you want to sell. We will have a meditation. We will have an offering to Saba Tehuti where we get to bring our gifts and our offerings to Saba Tehuti. We have a talent show where you can express your comedic expressions, looking for dancers, rappers, singers, artists, whatever expression. If you make clothes, whatever you do, you can participate in the talent show. It's $20 to enter, and the first place prize is $250 to a tour for blowing up the flyer. That looks amazing. We're gonna have food. We're gonna order some food. We're gonna have food catered. We're gonna sit down and break bread together and just enjoy each other's company. Ani will be speaking and performing. Ahati will be speaking. Atef will be the master of ceremony. We'll do the affirmation together, and it's going to be a beautiful opportunity to celebrate everything that we've accomplished together over these last 2 years. We're coming up on the 2nd anniversary of the Tehuti Pod class, and that's an amazing accomplishment. And the teachings of Maat celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the teachings of Maat. And I'm looking forward to being in LA. I love LA. It's going to be at Momola Studio, 5774 West Pico Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. And the event will be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm sure after the event is over, we figure out some place to go and hang out together, probably get some more food and just build. So I'm very much looking forward to the event. Hope that you all could be there. Get your tickets now. Before the price goes up. And that's basically the info for Pathways to Awakening. Saba's going to have some announcements, and the world will not be the same after that. So looking much. It's going to be a meteor shower. It's going to be an eclipse.
That's a fact, yo. My goddess is looking forward to it. We looking forward to it. Super excited, man. Definitely, it's going to be a great turnout, as it always is. You know, being in the presence of the Neters is always a beautiful thing. So, you know, his energy is undeniable. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic, man. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. The link is in the chat, so everyone hit that link. Hit that link to be led directly to the tickets, and it's also in the bio. So for those who are watching on the playback, it's the first link in the bio. So go ahead and get your tickets. Shout out to everyone who's already purchased their tickets. You know, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the support and those who are willing to do what's necessary to come out and be in the presence of our great Saba Tehuti in person, in the flesh. It is not like here online, and it definitely is. There's usually some type of sacrifice involved with being able to make an event that's this extravagant happen for you. You have to be in certain places within your life to be able to make something like this bring forth, because of the abundance that you're going to receive from being at this event. So do everything you can to be there, and you know, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So let me give a shout out to the supporters. Let's see. Of course, first and foremost, I always love to give a great shout out to this brother who's been consistent since day one. Nito Campbell, Ronald Trending since $5, 23.
Gotta drop some.
Like my brother Arcad, always remain.
Uh-oh. Wrong sound bite. Wrong sound bite. Let me get my.
I don't know what's going on with your sound bites, but they sound like.
What they sound like? Sound like a war going on, right?
No, it sounds like some beatboxing or something. It's like a pellet gun or something.
Hold on. Sound like an explosion.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, that's an okay. All right, we're gonna get it right.
All right, shout out to great brother Nito Campbell. Peace and love to you, great brother, for your consistent support. You lead by example consistently. So Tua. All right, next we have another very consistent supporter, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Nookpoo, 333 for We Are Healed. To our good brother Emmanuel Rodriguez, Nookpoo. I am. You're very consistent. You're wonderful, good brother. Tua for your support and for your consistency. So hope that you can make it out to the Pathways to Awakening event so we can shake hands in person. So Tua to you, good brother. And we have to give a shout out to, we got a super chat from Nicholas Noetic for NOK, which I believe is the Norwegian currency.
Yeah.
So 59 of the Norwegian. Let's see. Okay, that amounts to about $5.52. So Tua, good brother, appreciate the teachings of Maat. Tua, much love and blessings from around the world. Peace, love, and overstanding. Absolutely, yes. Peace and love to you, Tua, for supporting. And we definitely appreciate you being here in class and Saba Tehuti's podcast and your participation in the chat. Your energy is great. So Tua to you, Nicholas Noetic. Okay, let me run down some of the advertisements. Okay, so starting September, what day is that? September 6th. We will be presenting the Maat Wisdom Wednesdays class. It's exclusive for the TOM members only. So if you're a member, shout out to the great brother Stephen E for becoming a member. He'll have access to this class. Our moderator, Primordial Thought 9. Shout out to you, good brother Sesh Saeed. Patah Bull Damo, Big Vapes. all of our members of the TOM will have access to this class. It's a free class for all of our members that I'm hosting for our great members, so we can continue to keep our mindset within Maat, go over all the wisdom text. The teachings of Ptah is what you see up here in the top left. Search thyself for every thought, for every flaw thoroughly, until there exists in comportment no fault. Great is Maat and ever at the ready. And that is what we're bringing forth with this Maat Wisdom Wednesday class. So become a member so you can be a part of this free, beautiful, powerful class where we're gonna look at the papyruses and really break down these beautiful instructions, also known as Sebaites, to help continue to guide us through this lifetime here. They're very powerful and it's needed in this matrix. So peace and love to everyone, and just hit us up on the website teachingsofmaat.org and ask how to become a member. All right, next we have our Discord meeting on the 31st for the community. This is absolutely for everyone. This is free for everyone, so make sure you're part of our Discord. That link is also in the bio, so make sure you click that link and become part of our beautiful Discord community, where we send out all of our information rapidly so you all can receive that, and come to our meeting where you can just verbalize your thoughts, what you would like to see, what you appreciate about the teachings of Maat, ask questions about our organization, our foundation, all that great stuff. So just hit the Discord link and come in and join us. If you appreciate the information that we bring forth, of course, Cash App and PayPal, Teachings of Maat. We also offer Ethereum, and you can find that at teachingsofmaat.org/donate, and you'll find our Ethereum wallet address there. So if you learn anything from this lesson here today, just show your reciprocity by showing support in the Cash App or in the PayPal. MetaNetter Mondays. Our great Saba Tehuti hosts a MetaNetter Monday class. All you have to do is email mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. That's 1:30 p.m. Pacific time every Monday. If you can't be there live, you can get the recording, which it's a free will donation of at least $20 for the recording and to get in the class. And we just finished class 48, and they're absolutely phenomenal. I wish you all don't know what you are missing if you're not in the MetaNetter class. I'll tell you that right now. It's absolutely powerful. So, and for what our Saba Tehuti is letting these go for, I think that everyone and anyone can get this class. Just make whatever sacrifices we need to do so we can feed our soul and not feed our bellies so much, as the teachings of Maat go over and teach about gluttony, and that's something that's taught today in this culture here today, overeating. And so by following the laws of Maat, we can definitely feed our soul more than we feed our physical bodies, because for one, we're overindulging in a lot of the things that are not beneficial for us, including television, music, certain type of music, these tones, all of these things that really do not bring us any type of life. So MetaNetter Monday, the teachings of Maat Sunday class, Saba Tehuti's pod class, our Maat Wednesday, our Wednesday class. This is the food that we should be consuming. So make time, make space, make additions for this wonderful, powerful, absolutely phenomenal class. Okay, and lastly, I'll show the Rumble. We are also simultaneously live on Rumble, so shout out to all of our people who are watching over there on Rumble. You all are great as well. Tua, this is a great platform that allows us to make sure that we keep a second record of everything we do. YouTube is very finicky on what you can play sometimes, and Rumble is not so strict, so it's a great platform. So if you're not a part of that, go ahead and create you an account over there. It's free, and join us and follow us over there. Teachings of Maat. All right. And you can support with the rants over there on Rumble. So be sure to support us. All right. Okay, so as the great brother Atef Rimkim Maat started us out in reading, the title of the show is the Pert Heru, Book of the Dead or Book of Life. And this is a very powerful question because the what's known as the Book of the Dead gives a connotation that this has something to do with just even the word dead means not living. So we're going to go into it and we're going to look at this so-called Book of the Dead. And we're going to show where a lot of the Bible readers and believers get their concepts from. We're going to look at we're just going to look at some powerful things here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my presentation up so we can get started. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, there we are. The Book of the Dead or the Book of Life. The Pert Heru. Okay, brought into existence by Scribe Ani PTAH Aten Tehuti, teachings of Maat.org/scribe. Okay, let's get on this boat ride as we travel on Pert right here, which are my dividers for my presentation. Pert, which means heaven. So what is the Pert Heru? This is one of the true titles of what is commonly misnomered as Book of the Dead. This was titled by people who, of course, did not study the followers of Maat. Why Book of the Dead? Is this book for dead people? What do these writings have to do with death? Let's get into it. Okay, hold on. Let me change something up real quick. Let me see. I want a different energy for this.
Let's go. Let's go. I ain't got my Menkhu voice, but it's soundbite.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay. So here is the Pert Heru, which translates to coming forth by day. So let me take you to chapter 1, which is on plate 5 with the papyrus of Ani, British Museum number EA 10470. Here we see being presented the chapters of coming forth by day directly from the papyrus of Ani. So already, which is the real title, well, one of them, the Pert Heru right here, the beginning of the chapters, Reu Nu Pert Heru. Right, so the T makes this word feminine here. So coming forth by day with the glyph of the sun right here. And Heru, which many are familiar with that name there. And here we see it on the actual papyrus right here. The Reu Nu. And then here's the Pert, the house, the Pert Heru, right here on the actual papyrus. Okay, so here are the books that are commonly known today and seen. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, right? And in small letters, the Book of Going Forth by Day, the complete papyrus of Ani. So this book here has the plates. If you all do not have this book, I would definitely suggest adding this to your library so you can look at the physical plates of the papyrus. So you have this Book of the Dead, and this one here, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, with the transliteration and translation. So this is what's known, the Book of the Dead, right? And as a scribe, and as I carry the ren of PTAH, sound vibration is extremely important, right? So even when we say things, we don't really understand what we're saying, especially in this English language. Words really, the definitions that we walk around with these words today, we're not really speaking what we think it means, or excuse me, what it really is means. We think that we know what it means, but in reality, we don't. And I'll show and prove some of that here in this presentation, but it's extremely important that we use the correct tone when we speak. And a good example of that is if you want to get someone's attention, and their name is Ani, and you say, "Hey, Atef," then Atef is gonna react to you because you're calling his name, but you wanted to get my attention. But that's how that works. The sound vibration that you use is what gathers and garners the attention from that. And I've done many classes on how important attention is and how that creates your reality. So that ties right back into the sound vibration. So by calling this the Book of the Dead, this is not what our ancient ancestors called the papyruses, the writings. They were called the Pert Heru for short. So that is what we should also echo when bringing forth and reteaching people today of what this book really is, or what these writings really are, right? So the Pert Heru, because it definitely makes a difference here. Okay, so here we are. British Museum number EA 104705. Okay, so here's this line right here of what we just went over. The Ha Em Reu Pert Heru, the beginning of the chapters of the Pert Heru. So I just showed you the top half of this line, but what does the bottom half say? Right, so this is the Pert Heru, and that stops right here, Pert Heru. But of course, the papyrus keeps going. So what does that say? Okay, here we are, the beginning of chapters of coming forth by day, and there's the word and, right? So it doesn't just stop here. The Pert Heru is just the short version, because there's many names and titles for these papyruses, depending on who you're reading from and which chapter that you're reading from. So this one, which is the first chapter, even though it's on plate 5, the way that these chapters are lined up, there's roughly 190 chapters of the Pert Heru. And so with this being on plate 5, this is the actual first chapter. So it's chapters of coming forth by day, and of praisings and glorifications. Of what? Of coming forth from and going into the Neter Kert, glorious, and Amentet, beautiful. So it's also the praisings and glorifications of coming forth and going into, being able to come forth and go in, right? To traverse into something and out of something. And out of what? The Neter Kert, the glorious Neter Kert, which is the underworld, what's known as the underworld or the interworld. In Amentet, which Amen means the hidden place, the hidden realm, the secret place, the beautiful hidden place. So the afterlife, to be said on the day, to Chetet, on the day, right? Heru, of the burial, the caress. Right here, the beautiful word caress. So this is another word that is translated into coffin or mummy, which these words are not really what this is really supposed to mean. So the caress, the burial of going in after coming forth. Okay, So it's not just called coming forth by day. There is the word and denoting that there is more within the name of this chapter. Right. So this is why it's written in red. So this is the original. This is the original red writings to denote the beginning of chapter names, to put emphasis on something. And this was thousands of years prior towards a Bible, and they're turning this red lettering into the words of Jesus to represent his blood, which comes from blessed and the blessings. So the red lettering you see shows that this is the full chapter title, the beginning of the chapters of coming forth by day, and of praising and glorifications of coming forth and going into the Neter Kurt glorious and the beautiful Amentet, to be said on the day of the Karas, going in after coming forth. So this is to be said. Once again, utterances. How important is it to know what you're saying, right? Because this is saying to be said, right? If it's saying say this, but we're saying something else, then we're not following the directions that our ancestors left for us. So it's very important. Okay, so if the papyrus clearly shows that the language is speaking about light, why would they call it dead? Death culture. In the times before the false matrix, we knew that we did not die. In this culture of today, most people are already dead before they stop breathing physically. Even though the word death comes from the same word and sound vibration as day. No one knows this. Did you? Right? So if we look at the word dead, right here in the etymology, Middle English dead, having ceased to live. So no longer living. Torpid or dull, still standing, right? To be inert, which is one of Asar's name, inert. Just created the word inertia, to become, to move again, inert. From Old Norse, dead, a past participle adjective based on dao, which is perhaps from pi diu, to die. So here we see pi diu. And if you all have been in classes prior, you may already know what other words come from the word diu, right? Diu. So when we look at day, period time during which the sun is above the horizon, lifetime, definite time of existence, from Piru ach, a day, as the Germanic initial D is obscure origin, but Butang says it's from Piru diu, to burn. So it also means to burn, considered to be related to Latin dyes. Okay, so from dyes, which is diu, to shine. So the same sound vibration of diu, or ach, or dech, to burn, creates the same word dead. So dead and day already within the English language, because it's death culture. Of course, they take all of the living words, all of the words that mean light and life, and the medunetter, and they make these words about death. They make these words about just complete chaos and isfet. So day and da comes from diu. Of course, these words will connect. Why? Because diu, or dua, rise early, dawn, the morning sun, day, diu, or praise, dua, the two arms up right here in the ka position, to praise and to worship. And that is what the ba is doing as it rises, right? It rises from the karas, just as the dawn, just as the sun rises over the horizon to become what's known as morning, which is now associated with mourning and death. That's what you do when someone dies, you mourn. But you rise in the morning right here from the karas, just as dua, just as the two arms rise up, right? So it's also, so that is the ba. And that ba right here, the word ba has a flame. So it's representative of light, of that flame, of that fire that rises out of the karas, out of the kat, out of the physical body, and becomes that which is like a hawk, creating the word ba. right? Okay, so here we clearly see, just even from this image here, that this person is not dead, because we're representing fire. Because when you put out a fire, that means it's being smothered, right? And that's what you say, you smother something to death. But if there's a flame, if the flame is still going, that flame is alive. The flame is still going. So it's very important to know this. And that's the dua, to rise early, and to raise up, 2 arms raising up, the ba soul. So when you die, you rise up like the 2 arms are birthed again, just as Ra rises, excuse me, just as Ra rises in the horizon. You are the flame that rises and lights the way to become a soul living, right? A living soul. This is why the word Ba is a flame, meaning to flood with light. Hell flame coming forth from the horizon, right? The Nesert, with the Nes, which is also the word for tongue, and this is the determinative for tongue. So again, fire and speaking and sound vibration is associated with that flame, right? And the R, which is the mouth, and the T, the bread loaf of the feminine nature, the Nesert, and that's the flame. That's what coming forth from what? The horizon, more light. So this is completely about life and light. And the word Ba, to be a soul or possess a soul, is also the same word that means to flood with light, because that is literally what the Ba is. The Ba is light itself, as you see in the actual metanetter glyph. So what else does the word Diu create? Oh yes, deity, meaning God or the supreme being. So when we look at the word deity, a God, the supreme being, or self-existing spirit, coined by Augustine, from Latin Deus, from pi Deus, God, from root Diu, to shine. Once again, to shine, and derivatives, the sky, heaven, God. So this Diu, which creates the word deity or God, is the same word for Diu, which creates the word dead. So they're associating death and day, death and light with each other in their actual English language, because that is what the metanetter, that is what the Pert Heru teaches, that there is no death. The word for death is mut, which is also the word for mother, because that's what you're birthed through. So once again, you're birthed through the karas into a light flame. So as you die, you become that light flame, you shine. So that's why the 2 words are associated with each other, but it's not taught in the way that it should be. So of course, today being death culture, there is no life associated with that word. So that's why I'm reversing our understanding of what the Book of the Dead is, why these terms are being used, because they did not take any of this into account when they said, hey, let's call this this is the Book of the Dead. And we'll get to why that's even being called that. So, which of course, the God of the Bible is also known as a ram. Why? John chapter 1, verse 36. And looking upon Jesus as he walked, he saith, behold, the Lamb of God. So Jesus, as he walked, he saith, behold, I'm the Lamb of God. And what is the father to a lamb? Making him, in the Pert Heru, making him to be established heir, right, of the things of his father, Asar. And we look at that word heir, awat, and we see right there, right? We see it right there, clear as day, to be the heir, which Jesus is the heir, right? The son of God, of Yahweh. And you see it right there in the metanetter as to why that's even a thing in the Bible. The heir of who? His father. He's the heir of his father. Atef, F. Asar. So here we also have ram, is the word for soul, with the same glyph here of fire and light, Ba. So Ba is the ram. So Ba is the soul. So it's very very powerful there. And Iwa or Awat is air with the lamb right there in the glyphs, meaning lamb, and flesh. So Jesus is God incarnated into the flesh. Well, it's because they knew and they had access to these writings. So therefore, when they're creating their stories and they're creating their Jesus stories, and Jesus becomes the heir of God, the flesh of God, we already had that written, as that is what we are to become, as that is what the Nesubitis are, the Par-Ees, the physical representations, the heir. They're the Lamb of God, of Amun, of Ra, Ra being the head. So of course, Jesus is the Lamb of God. And here we have Ba and Ra, the soul of Ra, right? The soul of Ra, one of the tetrad of the divine souls that dwelt in the Chet. And this is in the Book of the Dead. What's right here, the BD, that's when you know it's Book of the Dead. That's how they write it in here. The Pert Heru of Neb-Seni, Ba and Ra, the soul of Ra, or Ba Ra, in the tomb of Seti I, one of the 75 forms of Ra. And I showed this, the 75 forms of Ra, in my presentation, Becoming a Netter, God Body. And I went through and I showed a lot on the 75 forms of Ra, and one of them is the Ba Ra, with the Ba flame right here, the soul, and Ra. And to do what? Ba Ankh, to become a living soul, which is a title of Osiris of the Chet. So you're becoming a soul living, right? It's not about you die and it's death, is dead. These words that they utilize for when the body physically expires, the soul continues to live. And you also have a body there as well. But that's a whole nother class. Ba Ankh, a soul that has renewed its existence in heaven. So this is the Ba, this is the light flame. This is what exists within you. This is one of the 9 aspects of who you are that rises out of the physical body when that expires, and it becomes living itself. Though it is living, it becomes a living thing. It becomes a living flame. It is not to die out, right? And that's what the Pert Heru is about. It's about teaching you and guiding you through the process of going through the Neter Kurt, or the afterlife, and all of that exists there, to get to where the throne of the Father, Asar. So let's keep moving. So with Jesus being the Lamb of God, the shepherd, the Son of God, that by proxy makes God the Ram, which is Ra, the Son, the original Heru. So we have Amen Ra here, who is the original Heru. His name is Heru Erd, Horus the Great, or Horus the Ancestor. Heru, which is another one of the 75 forms of Ra, an air god, a god who hacked the dead in pieces in the Duat 6. So Ra is also Heru. And he's Heru Erd, and he is the ram, as you see here, with the Nesubiti as his beard coming from his chin, him being the lamb. And this is why the word for sun is Ra, and the word for day is Heru, because Ra is what is also Heru. So of course the day, or the sun, is what creates the daytime. As we looked at the word day, it's the sun above the horizon. So Ra and Heru creates the words sun and day. So you put those together, of course, Sunday is the worship of Amen. So here we go. Here in page 3 of the Pert Heru, mighty. The gods are rejoicing when they see Ra in his rising. So there we have the word rising, which is the same word ka, with the two arms up, as we've seen in dua, which creates the word, which means rising, the rising up, the morning sun. And dua, adoration, with the two arms up, raising something up. So the word ka here, you have the sun over the horizon with two arms. So it's over his rising. They see Ra in his rising, and his beams, setetu, right, flood with light, and which is what? Bah. So the same word for soul, which has the light flame in it, creates that word bah, flood with light. And that's what his beams do, flood with light what the countries that advanceth, ucha, which is what? More flames, more light, right? The light coming over the horizon again with the two legs walking. That's advantage. Your advantage is you moving, because you're the light flame that's moving forward, that's advancing towards what? The majesty of this netter, venerable, he arriveth at the land of Manu, illumineth the earth. At what? His birth, mest, every day. So the word for day is also Ra. So it's not just Heru, it's also Ra, because Ra is Heru. He's the original Heru. He's the first Heru. So you also see the word right here, you put every day, because that's how we talk. We say every day, but right here it's day every. So he illumineth the earth at his birth every day. He arriveth at his region of yesterday. Mayest thou be at peace with me. So as we see in this small section here, we see it being about light, right? Light. So we have Ra, which is the sun with the Ureret, which the serpent wrapped around the sun here, and the black dot. If you don't have MetaNetter class 48, be sure to get MetaNetter class 48. Our great Saba Tehuti gave us a black dot ritual. Of course, the black dot originally coming from Ra. So get that class. So we have Ra here, which is light, his rising, Ka'a, which is the sun rising, more light, Setetu, with his beams, flooding with light. The countries advances. As he advances, that's Uchas, the flame coming forward, that's the light, over Manu. He illumineth the earth, right? Flooding the light with, flooding the earth with light. Over what? Over his birth every single day. As he is born every day, just as the Ba is born again to rise up when the physical body expires. Now you become that light flame that rises so you can advance. And as you advance, you are literally the flame of light. So this is not dead at all. This is the book of life, literally, to keep your flame alive. So let's look at the word live. To be alive, have life, continue life, to supply oneself with food, procures a means of subsistence, past life, to be left, to live on, of what? Of fire, to burn, forming words from lip, to stick, adhere, forming words meaning to remain, to continue your fire is what it means to live. That is literally what the Pert in Heru is teaching you to do, to continue your fire, your flame, so that you can live, so that you don't seek death, so that you don't reach that, right? So here the word live tells you it literally means to burn, and it means to continue to burn. And that's why you see all these words with literal light, and it's about light and flame and shining. To be alive, the book of life. So here's Heru, or Horus, the sun god. So this is the original Heru. Was originally a totally distinct god from Horus, the son of Osar and Aset. But from the earliest times, it seems that the two gods were confounded, and that the attributes of one were ascribed to the other. The fight which Heru, the sun god, waged against night and darkness was also at a very early period identified with the combat between Heru, the son, Aset, the son of Aset, and his brother Set. The visible emblem of the sun god was at a very, very early age date the hawk, which was probably the first living thing worshipped by the early Egyptians, which is what the Ba, the image of the Ba is. It's your head on a hawk body to represent Heru. Already in the pyramid text, the hawk on a standard, so that's the hawk on the standard being that which is the foundation, which is Maat, is used indiscriminately with the neter sign to represent the word God. The principal forms of Heru, the sun god, which probably represents the sun at various periods of the day and night, are Heru which is the elder, or Heru the great, Heru Merti, Heru of the two eyes, i.e. of the sun and moon, Heru Nub, the golden Heru, Heru Kent Kat, Heru Kent an Ma'ah, Heru dwelling in blindness. All right, and we're going to get to that a little bit later as well. And blindness in itself. Heru Kuti, Heru of the two horizons. That type which is on earth was the Sphinx, right? So the Heru Kuti is the what they call the Sphinx. And I don't like using these words, but I have to use them so I can teach you all what the original real words are and why it's important to utilize these words. So, of course, the Heru Kuti, Heru Sam Tawi, Heru, the joiner of the two lands. So Ra, who is the head of the neter, the leader, Heru led the way of kingship. This is why all pharaohs are representations of Heru, just as we see Nesubiti Khafre of 2520 to 2494 BCE represented with the hawk wings of Heru morphing into the Nemes cobra. So here is the beautiful statue of Khafre, right? When you see this image right up front, you know, you don't really notice anything. It's beautiful. This is, and you see the beautiful pillars in the back, in which I did a class on, my last class, the flower of life, and these beautiful flowers here, and plants being the pillars of that which holds the foundation. So here is Khafre, but when we turn it to the side here, we see this beautiful image of this hawk wrapping its wings around, becoming the Nemes itself, right? And then here on his throne, the Smatawi, the joiner of the two lands of the papyrus plant and the water lily, being tied together to represent the north and south being brought together as one. And that's on the throne that Khafre is sitting on, with the beautiful hawk as his head, as Ra is the head. So he's the representation of Heru as the Nesubiti being in the throne, which is also Ra, because Heru is Ra, which is why day and sun create those words. They're interchangeable, Ra and Heru. And you see this beautiful image of this hawk here, right here, wrapping around the Nemes. Old Kingdom, 4th dynasty, around 2570 BC, made of anthracite gneisses related to diorite. Excavation by Auguste Mariette, 1860, from the Valley Temple of Khafre to be in the Grand Egyptian Museum, Giza, JE 10062. And of course, there's Ra with the hawk head, with the Nemes, the serpent, the Renunet, over his head, right here, Ra. May he grant a view of the disc, right? The Athen. May he grant, with the arm holding out the golden means triangle, which is a representation of light, a view of the disk, the Aten, and a sight of the Yah, of the moon god, without ceasing what every day. There's Ra again to represent the word day. So it's not just Heru, it's also Ra to represent the word day. And coming forth of my soul to walk. So the Ba right here with the flame, coming forth of my soul to walk. Satut, which the root word of Satut is set. Set is the word for fire. So once again, the walking is associated with fire because advances, ucha, to advance towards something, is that flame rising from the inside the moon or from the mountain. So to Satut means to walk, and the root word is set, and tut meaning image, the image of something, to copy. So it's to copy the flame that which you are, the set copy of the flame, and that creates the word to walk. So you're copying of the light, and that's what your Ba is representative of, the light, and of hawk, of the hawk of Ra, or Heru, which is the representation of the sun. About every place it pleaseth. So walking about every place it pleaseth may be proclaimed. Nastu, which comes from Nas, right, which is also dealing with tongue and dealing with fire, which is what creates the Nesut BT, the Nesut, the one with the fire tongue. So to proclaim something is combining fire and tongue together. So that's Nestu. My name, to proclaim my name, it is found upon the board, Ket. And I have this highlighted in red because we'll come back to this word here, Ket. For offering what things, Ket, may there be place for me, Tattoo. Once again, with the giving of the bread of the triangle, offerings of food in my presence, Mba'a. So this word Ba creates the word soul, creates the word flooding with light, to be in the presence of something, with the Maat and the erect ejaculating phallus here. So to be in the presence of something or someone is the word Mba, like the followers of who? Heru. So once again, the Book of the Dead. Why are the teachings about light and continuing to burn? The literal opposite of dying out. There is nothing dead about these writings. To even say these were the writings of dead people is incorrect, for we do not die. We study and follow Ma'at to attain that flame and continue to burn for eternity. So let's continue. Hell embraced with flame, right? Embraced with the flame. So we're going to go to this book here, Going Out in Daylight, the Pert Heru, the Ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, translation, sources, and meanings by Stephen Quirk. And this book is $130 to purchase it physically. To purchase the digital download, to get the PDF, is $60. So this book is not free. You will not find this book free online. You have to pay for this book. To get the PDF, it's at least $60. So in one sense, any papyrus buried with a person would be a book of the dead. This is probably what Gurnawi villagers intended if referring to papyri they found in tombs behind their houses at Gurna, ancient Thebes west, by the Arabic term Kutub al-Umwat, books of the dead. So this is where the term was coined, book of the dead. It wasn't because it's about the process of death or dying. It comes from the Arabic term Kutub al-Umwat, books of the dead, because that's what they were referred to when they would find these writings in tombs, right? So literally buried with a person would be a book of the dead. So that's where the term comes from. And that's why we shouldn't use this term, because we understand that this is not, one, these are not people that are dead. These are people that have a soul still living, and they practice this through Ma'at. So to even call this book of the dead because it was buried with a person that was quote unquote dead is incorrect. So in 1842, Richard Lepsius used the phrase for his fundamental edition of one manuscript, the Papyrus of Euph Ankh. Since then, Book of the Dead has been reserved for a narrower group, those with selection from a corpus of some 200, and of course, corpus, that's a whole, in 200 or more written compositions and illustrations. The corpus is known from a wide range of source types, from inscriptions on tomb walls, the decorated items of burial equipment, including perhaps most characteristically on papyri made for burials from the mid-18th dynasty to early Roman period, about 1450 BC to AD 50. So that's in this book, and this is a fantastic book. It has the translation and transliteration of every chapter 1 through 90 in this book. So it's a very powerful book. It's good. So yes, this is from this book here, showing you that the Book of the Dead just came from any papyrus buried with a person. Okay, so as followers of Maat, we gave rise to the teachings that which the Bible copied from. Stolen would be a more appropriate term, since they do not give credit. We are the true keepers of the flame. Revelations 19, 20 or 12. Revelations chapter 19, verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself. So right here in Revelations, we see they're describing Jesus as having eyes that were like flames of fire, right? To be that fiery flame, that eye. So we know that all the attributes of Jesus come from the Natiru, come from the writings of Maat. If you don't know, I'm just going to continuously show you until that spell is broken, so that we actually have the correct teachings when it comes to when it's time for our final transition out of this physical body. We know what we're doing. We have the correct tones. We have the correct consciousness, the knowledge to guide us as we fly through like a hawk as a ba to get to where we want to go, to be able to come forth and go out of. And so here we have Jesus having flames as eyes. Page 203 of the Pert Heru. Homage to you, O gods, O Netiru, these, even I know you. Rek Kua Ren 10, I know your names. Which names is dealing with the sound vibration. So to know the names, it's important. We must know your names. We must know their names of the Natiru, the sound vibration that carries. Though Jesus is saying he had a name written that no man knew but himself. Well, anybody can do that. You can create a name for yourself right now and not tell no one, and only you will know. But it's important for us to know the names, which are sound vibrational tones of a specific consciousness, as we come to different gates, portals, different sabas, which is the door or portal into something or out of something. It's important to know the certain type of sound vibration that's associated with that portal, with that door. So here we have Hail, whose two eyes are of what? Fire. Ket, that word ket, that is highlighted in the red, which I left up here. Ket, same word for board. So it is found upon the board for offering things. So where your name is to be proclaimed, where your sound vibrational tone is proclamated, that is where it is found upon what? The board, which is associated with fire and the offerings of things. So those things are also associated with flames, because that same word ket is fire. We are the keepers of the flame, so we must keep that flame alive and not let it die out. And then here we have a nice poster by John Dickey, Fire Eyes, the Revolution or the Revelation of Jesus Christos with his flame eyes. Of course he has eyes of fire. Hell, whose two eyes are of fire. Because I know, what do I know? I know their name. What else do I know? I know that oppressor who is among them in the house of Asar, the Pa, which is Saba Tehuti, has completely broken down this word. He did it in the Primordial Thought 9 teaching that he did over on the Tehuti Pa class, and Pa and Pa'ut, how it means the origin, the ancestor. And that right here, Pa, is also the house of Asar. And he's doing what? Shooting light from his eye. Satet im Maat. So yes, this word Ma'at is eye, and Satet, shooting light from his eye. Not seen is he. He goeth round heaven with what? With the flame, the nest. The same thing that creates the nest too, the proclamation of your name. So he walks around, he goeth around heaven with the flame of his mouth. Eyes of flame, mouth of flames. Because nest is the literal tongue, which means flame, tongue, to speak, to proclaim something. So you have to have the flame of mouth as well. So we're keepers of the flame. The flame shall not die out. Not with Ma'at, not while Saba Tehuti is here, not while the teachings of Ma'at are here. We will be sure to echo our great ancestors and continue the very powerful utterances, undisturbed by Christianity, undisturbed by the Abrahamic religions that take all this powerful information away from you and leave it all up to belief. Hideth in it, she hath drawn her hair there. Now what? Now Uachit or Ucha, the lady of flames, is what? The eye of Ra. So the eye of Ra is the lady of flames, who is Uachit or Ucha, which Ucha is the real word for the what you know is what everyone knows is the eye of Horus. That's called the Uachit. And it's also a name of the lady of flames. The eye of Ra is. Homage to thee, King of kings, Lord of lords, Prince of princes. Revelations 19:16, and he hath on his venture and on his thigh a name written, Kings of kings, Lords of lords. This is plate 2 of the Pert Heru. And as we go right here, this is where it's telling you homage, right? Homage, who is the Nesut, the King of kings, and the Lord of lords. Nebu, Heku, Lord of lords, Kings of kings. Right here, written in the papyrus, 1250 BCE. Far before any biblical thinking about any of that. So with knowing this, it should be an easy decision to say, hey, let me go to the original. But because the spell is so deep, and I'm gonna get into why the spell is so deep, we have people who do not want to acknowledge the facts. King of kings, Lords of lords. And here's plate 36 right here, Papyrus Ani, plate 36, page 241 of the Pert Heru. Ani triumphant, saith he, hail my Lord, traversing eternity, his existence being forever and ever, Lord of lords, King of kings, Prince, God of the gods, who live with you, they I have come to thee. Make thou for me a seat with them in the underworld. They adore the images of the Ka. So once again, being forever, the Lord of eternity, his existence, traversing eternity, the Lord of lords, Nebu, Sutin Sutiniu, Ati Neter Natiru, God of the gods. So make thou for me a what? A seat with them in the Neter Kurt. Seat, set. Seat, set. Is also throne. And then what also is seat and throne? Nest. The same word we've been going over. Nastu, nest, tongue, proclamation. To proclaim what? You have to proclaim your throne. It's not just going to be given to you. That's something that you have to proclaim with the sound vibration, with the flame of tongue. So the same word for seat and throne are set. Set has the word set in it, which is fire. Set is fire, and so is nest, neset, which is fire here. And as you see this glyph right here, the neset, which is like the in Ker, in the Neter Kurt. So that's why you see Neter Kurt right here with this glyph with the Neter symbol sitting on top or going into this right here. So proclamation of the throne in the Neter Kurt. It's all dealing with fire. It's all dealing with light. It's all dealing with life. Who is he that commandeth? Romans chapter 8, verse 34. Who is he that commandeth? It is Christ that died. Yeah, rather, that is rising again. Who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercession for us. So, of course, it's about what? Jesus. If anybody asks where Jesus is, he say, oh, Jesus is sitting right there at the right hand of God. Right? He's sitting on his own throne in the right hand of God. Right? So maketh thou for me a seat with them in the Neter Kurt. With who? With them. Who is them? The Netiru. With Asar, who is the Neter of the Netiru. Which is right here. Plate 36. Unin, exist, eternity, Techeta, Neb, Nebu, Lord of Lords, Sutin, Sutinu, King of Kings, Neter, Netiru, with the hawk being the sign for the Neter. So it's also the axe, and it's also the hawk, as I showed earlier, of Ra, or Heru. So let's go to plate 9. Right here, I'm showing you the actual Pert Heru, and I'm going into certain tones and what's known as spells, because spell literally just means to utter something. So even when you just talk, you're spelling, right? Because that's what language is. Language is tongue. Tongue goes to spell because spell means to utter something. Language means to utter something, to speak. So then tongue, of course, goes to Dengu. Dengu is spell. Spell goes to hex. Hex goes to six. Six goes to sex. And it just continues like that. And they completely take the sound vibration and turn them into just negative frequencies. And we wonder why things are the way that they are. And it's so difficult to do what you want to do. You know, these sound vibrations are important, and I'm gonna continue to bring it out. I'm gonna continue to show it. I'm gonna continue to lead by example with this, because it's that important. As we see and we read through the Pert Heru, it's literally about proclaiming, speaking. The word chapter is the mouth. It's all about sound vibration. So yes, plate 9. We're going to look at this right here. He hath made it to depart, and Tehuti raiseth up the hair there, and he bringeth it. He bringeth what? The eye. Ankh Ucha Seneb. So that same word for advancing, with the little legs right beside the flame right here. Ucha, the fire, is also the word for health. Creates the word green, which is associated with health. So healthy is Ucha. So that these words are beautiful. The meta netter is beautiful. It's fire in itself. That's why we say things are fire. And we're because it is. literally. So Ankh Ujaseneb, he bringeth what? The eye living without defect to its Lord. Otherwise said, it is the eye when it is sick, when it is weeping. Shout out to Atef Rim Kim Maat. For its fellow, standeth up then Tehuti to wash it. So Tehuti is the one who is washing the eye, the Ma'at, to eradicate the defect, so it can be Anku Jaseneb, so it can be living in health and sound. May he open my two eyes which are blinded. My Ma'ah. May he open my eyes which are blinded. So Tehuti is the first to heal blindness. When the eye is sick, it is Tehuti that stands up to wash the eye to bring back sight. He bringeth the eye life, health, soundness, and power without defect to you. This is why you'll see him with the Nebo bringing the Ankh, bringing the Usir, holding the Nefu, which means breath, which means life, which means freedom. This is the breath of life. Right here, it literally says breath of life and power on the Nebo. This translates to the word Lord, Tehuti. So if the Bible is the only spiritual book that you have read, the attributes of Jesus or even the miracles he performed, then yes, you will say, yes, our King of Kings is the Lord of Lords, or the Prince of Princes. He healed the blind. So if the Bible is the only book that you know of where you hear these type of these stories from, then of course you're going to venerate that book or that person as if that's not something that existed for thousands of years prior to Jesus, that the Natiru were not healing the blind, that the Natiru, that Aset wasn't able to have her head cut off and grow another one, as if limbs could not be cut off and be regrown. This was normal for the Natiru. So when you know this and you see and you read these stories of Jesus, it's like these are literal, they're literally stolen from the attributes of the Neter. And it doesn't wow you to read about Jesus doing these things, because you know that's been done for thousands of years before. We were aware of that, and we practiced that. So it definitely takes the supreme adoration out of it when you know that these miraculous occurrences and these magical all this magic that Jesus was doing was something that was being done for thousands of years prior, and even more so what he was doing. I don't know if Jesus being able to have his head cut off and continue to exist, but Aset did, and in the contendings of Horus and Set. So the Pert Heru are a collection of writings dating to as early as 1600 BCE, as far as being recorded on papyri. Before papyrus, we kept record in stone, on Sahu wrappings, and in the Karas, which is the coffin, that date to circa 2600 BCE of the pyramid text. The oldest Bibles date to around 287 BCE, so it should be obvious that when there is something prior that created the foundation of something, and here we have writings that can be clearly shown where they come from time and time again, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, name by name, one would submit to the truth. God says, what does God say? I do not speak evil in the place of Ma'at, every day advancing in Ma'at. An or Nin, Techeta, M Aset, M Ma'at. Min, Hapapet, M Ma'at. Everyone should be familiar with this. Everyone should be saying this every rising and prior to laying down for rest at the end of the night. This is in our beautiful affirmation that the great Saba Tehuti brought forth for us. I do not speak evil in the place of right and truth, every day advancing in right and truth. The Lords of right and truth, Tehuti. So let's go to Psalms chapter 33, verse 4 through 9. For the word of the Lord is what? It's right, and all his works are done in truth. So the Lord is living in Maat, because that's what Maat is, right and truth. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his works are done in truth. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. By the word of the Lord, by the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. The Nephu, which then creates the word Nefesh, which means breath. He gathereth the waters of the sea together as an heap. He layeth up the depth in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. Okay. Well, let's go here to page 7, page 6, page 7, chapter 15 of the Pert and Heru. Maketh Nut homage, Nini, to thee, embraceth thee Maat at every season. Embraceth thee Maat at every season. Sing praises to those who are following thee. And there's the word ket again, things or flame or fire. They bow down upon the earth in meeting thee, the Lord of heaven, the Lord of earth, King of righteousness, the Lord of eternity, the Prince of everlasting, the ruler of all the netter of life, the maker of eternity, the creator of what? Heaven? By the word of the Lord were the heavens made? Of course. Established is established by him which is within it or within her, because that S is also a feminine aspect. So maker of eternity, creator of heaven, is established by him that which is in her. The cycle of the netter is in rejoicing at thy rising. The earth is in gladness, seeing thy rays. So right here, we clearly see in Psalms chapter 33, verse 4 through 9 is almost a complete copy of chapter 15 of the Pert and Heru, and embracing Ma'at at every season and right in truth, because the word of the Lord is right and his works are done in truth. Right? Singing praises. They bow down upon earth. They bow down upon earth and making thee the Lord of heaven. Right? He loveth righteousness and judgment. Right? The Lord of earth, the King of righteousness, the Lord of eternity, Prince of everlasting, the God of life, ruler of all the netter, maker of eternity. Very powerful tones here in the meta netter in the Pert and Heru. So when you read this in the Bible, you know, these are, you know, you give all attribution, all adoration to Yahweh in the Bible. And you know, it's really a shame. It's really sad that a majority of our people do not know this information, and it takes a lot of reversing of that hypnosis to allow them the opening to open a portal enough for them to hear what is being said and to see what is being shown right before them, because Ma'at is an eye, and it is about being removed of the blindness so that you can see, the truth, so that you can Ma'at. Okay, so only those who are blinded by negative ego and fear will renounce the facts presented. The true reason why it is so difficult for the majority of the planet to acknowledge the truth is because of fear of death. That's the number one reason. The next time you are around your Christian family members, bring up a conversation pertaining to death and watch how uncomfortable it becomes. That's definitely something that a lot of people avoid when it comes to conversing. And these are all Christians. These are all followers of the Bible. And if you are a follower of the Bible, then you should be okay. If you truly believed what this said, then you should be all right with being able to speak about death. And it should not be something that brings about fear within you, because the Bible teaches you that by following the words of the Lord, by accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you'll also find a place within the kingdom of heaven. And if you truly believe that, then there should be no fear associated with death. But you can subconsciously see when talking to many Christians that they are completely terrified of death. So, fear, what does God say? Fear, what does God say to the priest who do not keep his word? So let me come back to the chat here. Let me say peace to the chat. And let me see what you guys have for this question here. Do any of you know, what does God say to the priest who do not keep his word? What does God tell the priest for those who don't keep his word? All right, let me come back to the chat here. Okay, peace and love, everyone. Hotep, peace. Robert Reyes, Ma'at Heru, Amun Ma'at. Peace to you. He says, Ma'at, Hotep, Natirus. Then we have Tanya, 23 experience, Ankh and Ma'at family. I like your avatar. Jay Kirkland, Henu to the panel. Henu Ani PTAH ATEN TEHUTI, Atef Remkem Ma'at. Ahati Maat, Henu Menkhu Ara Meri Maat, Henu Saba Tehuti, Amenhotep Maat, Henu to the class. Nefer Sakim. Oh, let me make myself a little larger. There we go. Okay. Shout out to Nicholas Noetic, who sent in a super chat for this great knowledge and corrections, Ani. He sends 25 NOK. You are welcome. Nini Up. Tua for being in class, and Tua for your attention, and for being able to receive. Is Hoyley, Israel Hoyley, the Lords of Right and Truth. Peace, brothers in the back of the classroom. Yes. Tanya Experience, super chatted $1.99. So let me give some claps for Tanya 23 Experience and for Nicholas Noetic. Tua for your support. We really appreciate that. It helps us so much. We're putting together this in-person event. So every dollar sent in counts, and we appreciate it all because you are helping us build this Aku brick by brick. So Tua Tanya 23 Experience, you teaching family. Tua Eric G Fire. Big Vape says, burn in hell. Okay. He says burn in hell. Let's see, we got more than 2 people in the chat here. Channings around the neck, or chains around the neck is, I'm sure, what you meant to say. So what does God say to the priest who do not keep his word? Big Vape says you're going to burn in hell if you don't keep the word. Israel Hoyley says chains around the neck. Okay. We need some more participation in the chat. Let me make it back big screen for you all.
Honey, when you leave it like that, brother. Because you was covering up the teachings a little bit when you first started, but that's good though.
Okay, Tua. Let's get some participation. I can't move forward until we get some more answers. If you don't know, that's one of the greatest answers. So you can just put, I do not know.
I don't know what's going on.
Do you know, good brother Atef, What does God say to the priest who do not keep his word?
No, I do not. I do not know.
Yes. Okay.
I just want to learn, bro. That's how I got here. I just want to learn.
Absolutely. Bijan Pharaoh says, Hotep Ma'at, peace to you. Bijan Pharaoh, good to see you. Peace and love to you. Eric G says, I don't know. Okay. Tanya 23 experience. What do you think? What do you think God says to the priest who do not keep his word? I want to know what you think. Nicholas Noetic, what do you think? Jay Kirkland, what you think, good brother? Robert Reyes, what you think, good brother? Shout out to Primordial Thought 9. Yes, support with the Cash App, PayPal, if you appreciate the teachings, or with the Super Chat. Shout out to our great moderator. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Nicholas Noetic. You also sent a Super Chat here. The breakdown on death culture, day, death connection. You sent 59 NOK. To our great brother. Let me give you some more hand claps. God was, I am. Yes, give him some gunshots. His brother is donating, he's supporting. To our good brother. Hotep Ma'at, peace and love, family. God was, I am. Shannon Southern. Hotep Ma'at, I have a family emergency. Someone close to me had an NDA. This is great. We will watch the replay. Love always. Sending love to you, Shannon Southard. Tua for being in class and keeping us updated with what's going on with you. So Tua, great sister, sending you very positive, loving energy. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we have. Okay, there we go. Jason Kirkland says, Nefer teachings. Saba Ani PTAH ATEN TEHUTI. Tua for the Nefer teachings. Nini Uk, good brother. Jason Kirkland, one of our active members who will have access to the Ma'at Wisdom Wednesday class. So make sure that if you want to be a part of that class, you just reach out to us, and we will definitely give you the necessary steps to take to become a teacher member, so you can also be a part of this class here.
Stephen E. say burn for eternity. Dashe say thrown in the ocean with chains of stone as a necklace.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You, Israel Holy.
Yes. Okay. All right. Nicholas Noetic, he shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Burn for eternity. Stephen E. Have a chain of necklaces. Okay. Of stone. All right. Well, let's get back into it. Let's see what God says to the priest who do not keep his word. Okay, let me pull it back up here. All right, priest to be disciplined. So we're going to go to Malachi chapter 2, verse 1. And now ye, O priests, this commandment is for you, priest. Yes, my priest of the priest of Yahweh, priest of the Bible, who preach God's word. This commandment is for you. You know, the ones who are doing all the great work in the communities, and this is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, saith who? The Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you. I will curse your blessings. Yeah, I have cursed them already because you do not lay it to heart. Let me keep going. Chapter 2, verse 3. Behold, I will corrupt your seed, and I will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast, and one shall take you away with it. Wow. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. So there you go, priests. This is directed at the priests, the holy ones, who preach the word of the Bible and walk in the name of the Almighty. If you don't give glory to this evil God, he will spread feces on your face. He won't be compassionate and understanding that lies are everywhere and it's easy to become manipulated. He won't exercise patience. You know, the Lord of eternity, he don't have patience. He won't give grace to the priest who may have questions and answer them with truth and love. No, you get dung to the face. You and your children get cursed. No questions asked. How righteous of a judgment is that? This is an act of Set in war. So here we have Yahweh telling his priest, you know, no questions asked. You cannot ask questions. You cannot come to any type of internal conflict. You have to just completely take to heart everything I say. And though we know that these biblical writings are stolen writings, that this is not the original teachings, that the gods in the Bible, because there are multiple gods in the Bible, because they're taken from the Natiru and they're taken from the Sugagi or the Anunnaki. You know, so there's multiple gods in the Bible. So they're telling this, and people are living by this, that you will have dung spread on your face, priest, that I'm gonna curse you and your children. I'm gonna curse your blessings simply because you do not take to heart what I say. Not, hey, we're gonna talk. We're going to, I'm gonna exercise patience with you. I'm going to answer all your questions that you may have. There's none of that. It's just completely listen to this commandment. If you don't hear it, then I'm cursing you and I'm putting dung on your face. I'm putting feces on your face and I'll walk away with it on your face. Right there, Malachi chapter 2. This is an act of Set in war, because that's what Set does. So here is Yahweh being as Set in war when he was in his negative state. But the God of the Bible, it loves righteousness. But okay, that's righteous, right? Set throwing excrement in the face of Heru. So this is an act of Set. This is what Set did when he was in war with Heru. Right here in the papyrus itself. If you were to believe what God says here, then yes, you will be full of fear to not take these words to heart. You have to take these words to heart. My God is going to curse me and my children. I can't not take these words to heart. I can't take a chance on having curses put onto me by Almighty Creator himself. I can't take a chance on cursing my children because I want to ask questions. So of course you'll be full of fear to not take these words to heart. What is another fear tactic that every Christian says? I'd rather believe and be wrong than not believe and be wrong. But why though? All right, so I've heard that many times. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard someone say this when you're talking to them about Christianity, you're talking to them about religion, the origins, you're talking to them about Kemet and Maat, and they'll say, well, I'd rather believe because if I'm wrong, then at least I still gave myself the chance to be right, than not believe and be wrong. Because if I don't believe and I'm wrong, well, then I'm going to burn in the lake of fire. All these things that everyone was saying, right? Everything that everyone was saying, burn for eternity. You should not enter the kingdom of heaven. Thrown in the ocean with chains of stone as a necklace. This is, I don't want this to happen to me, so I'd rather believe. Nicholas Noetic says heavy.
Israel Holy says I was way off. Sounds like modern day Islam. Peace and blessings, Dominic Marino. Peace and love to you. Okay, Atef put 1. Big Vase put 1. Angela Gates put 1. Israel Holy put 1. Okay. Even our Norwegian Christian church has 2 axes and a cross on it. Disturbing. Oh, okay. Absolutely. So, yes, many of us have heard this. Many of us have heard, I'd rather believe and be wrong than not believe and be right. Right? So this is from plate 8 in the Pert and Heru. Set throwing excrement in the face of Horus in an act of war is the same thing God will do to the priest if you do not hear or lay unto your heart what he says. I don't want to burn in the lake of fire for eternity, right? Some of you said that as well. This is the ultimate fear spell that keeps our people from letting go of Abrahamic religions and Jesus. No one wants to burn in a fire for eternity. So how do I not allow this to happen? Belief. All I have to do is believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I shall be saved and forgiven for sinning. Sign me up. Where is give me the paper and the pen. Give me the utterance, whatever is needed. Sign me up. All I have to do is believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I shall be saved and forgiven for sinning because he died for that. Yes, of course, our people is going to be attracted to that. Right? It's the ultimate fear spell. Who wants to burn for eternity in a lake of fire? That's why they would rather believe than not believe, because if in their mind, if they're wrong, that if they believe is worse than if they're right. So as if believing and being wrong is not a way to allow your flame to burn out, because you don't have none of this teachings. You don't have the actual truth. You don't have the instructions on how to keep your flame burning. You don't have that. You don't have how to satut, how to walk, how to ucha, how to advance it. You don't have these teachings because you've put your entire thought process, trust, and consciousness into a stolen collection of books. So you think you are more safe in just believing in that and being wrong than being right, but that's actually not correct at all. And we know because of all of these teachings here. So Romans chapter 6, verse 23, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ, our Lord. So it's saying right here, the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Now let's go to Revelations chapter 20, 11 through 15. And I saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. Chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is what? The book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to those works. Well, that is the most famous plate of the Pert and Heru that everyone knows and everyone has seen, even if they don't know anything about it, is the judgment scene. The scene of Ani being judged, where his heart is being weighed against the feather of Maat, and he is being made clear, and he's led by Heru, the son of the Lord of eternity, Asar, to his throne so he can stand beside him. So here, he opened the book, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things. The book of the dead, the book of life, the Pert and Heru. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. So the sea gave up the dead. So once again, they're associating death with the sea. And in the Pert and Heru, we consistently see in the afterlife, you're traversing on a boat, you're on water. So of course, in the Bible, in Revelations chapter 20, verse 13, is going to say, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it. Because the Nut, which is also heaven, which is also associated with the waters, because it also speaks about in the Shabaka stone, PTAH, separating the waters of Noon, the waters of Nu, and the waters on earth. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the what? This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So here we clearly see it being associated with the lake of fire, being associated with the second death. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life, the Pert and Heru, was cast into the lake of fire. Well, because the Pert and Heru is the guide through that. So that's why a lot of the times in earlier times, prior to the Pert and Heru becoming something that could be given to more of the masses, when it was just associated with the Nesubitis and the Part-Ees, you would find people being buried close to the Nesubitis, so they can also be able to utilize their Pert and Heru. So they can also have their guide through the Neter Kurt. So here, of course, it's going to say it's not found written in the book of life. This is the book of life, right? The Pert and Heru. So what's the date of the book of Revelation? So this is from Thomas D. Ice and Liberty University. This is a university article here. The date of the book of Revelation. Preterists teach that the book of Revelation is primarily a prophecy about the Roman war against the Jews in Israel that began in AD 67 and ended with the destruction of the temple in AD 70. In order for Revelation to be prediction of the future, Revelations 1, 3, 11, 19, 22, 6, 10, 16, 8, 20. And if it was fulfilled by August AD 70, then it had to have been written by AD 65 or 66 for the preterist interpretation to even be a possibility. Preterist Ken Gentry has noted this major weakness, and when he said of fellow early date advocate David Chilton, if it could be demonstrated that Revelation were written 25 years after the fall of Jerusalem, Chilton's entire labor would go up in smoke. Actually, all one would have to do is to show that Revelation was written anytime after the destruction of Jerusalem. The futurist interpretation is not dependent upon the date of Revelation, since it does not matter when these events take place, since they are still future to our own time. However, the date of Revelation is essential to the preterist position and explains why they are so focused upon defending an early date. There are two lines of evidence: external evidence from outside the revelation and internal evidence from inside the revelation. So the external evidence, because that's what we care about. We don't care about, what's inside the book, what's the evidence, what's inside, what's written in the actual chapter of Revelation. Today, the overwhelming consensus of scholarship believes that Revelation was written well after AD 70. Many have concluded that Revelation was written around AD primarily 95 written around AD 95, primarily because of the statement by early church father Irenaeus around AD 180. So it's saying that Revelation was written well after 70 AD. 70 AD. So most have concluded that Revelation was written around 95 AD. So we're dealing with this book here that's 70 AD and the Pert and Heru, which is 1250 BCE. The Pert and Heru of Ani is 1250 BCE. So it's 1300 years prior to this. When it's talking about lake of fire, it's talking about the second death. Whoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So the book of Revelations date to as early as 70 AD. The oldest papyrus found dates to 3rd century AD, which is the papyrus 47 at the Chester Beatty Library. So here is the earliest attestation of the book of Revelations. And this is in the Chester Beatty Library, object number BP3F.3. Scribe and production date unknown, but it is found in Egypt. So of course they're right here in Egypt, writing these biblical writings, right there where the Pert and Herus are. So 3rd century AD in the language of the Greeks, right? And here we go, and here we have what? Artemeu Tupe Iuak. So here's some Greek writing. Here's some Greek writing right here on the Sahu of someone. But we see Anpu here, right? We see the Karas here. We see the body here and Anpu with his hand on him, holding something up. And we see some people sitting in the Netzer symbol with Shu on their knees, the feather of Maat, and the two ladies on both sides. So we have the biblical writings happening right here, 3rd century AD, and we all still have people right here. Same thing, writing in Greek with the Netiru on their Karas. Museum number EA21810, mummy of a Greek youth, aged 19 to 21, named Artemidorus, in a cartonnage body case with a mythological decoration in gold leaf. So this ain't just, this is in gold leaf, and in encaustic on limewood portrait panel covering the face and inscription on the chest. There's an inscription in Greek on the mummy case. What time is it? 2nd century CE. So here we have Greeks who's still writing in Greek, but it's still showing the Netirus. Here's Tehuti. Here's Heru of the double crown. Here, I mean, this is complete Kemetic. Here's the serpent here, the Renenet, down to his feet. From his head down to his feet, with the hawk necklace here. Is the Nefer Hord with Heru right here, connecting it. So he was worshiping the Netiru, writing in Greek. So of course the biblical writings written in Greek. So could the Greeks understand metanetter? Of course, trilingual stela that shows the Greeks had access to the metanetter. So this is the Canopus degree with the Ptolemaic period, Ptolemaic III, found at the temple of Sekhmet, Heru, limestone. So of course, here's the metanetter with the Netiru up at the top, the Demotic, and the Greek. So, and of course, you always got to keep dates in mind. This is 3rd century AD right here. This right here is 2nd century Greek with the Netiru. And then these right here The Rosetta Stone, BMEA 24, 196 BCE, with the Greek written alongside the metanetter and alongside the Demotic, which is a more cursive version of the metanetter. So they completely had access to the metanetter, the writing. So you just put two and two together. You understand that they had access to these stories. They could read these stories, the creators of the Bible, and they worshiped the Netiru and placed Greek on their karass, on their coffins, with the Greek writings, with the Netiru. And so here you have the Bible that has all these teachings from the Pert and Heru, from the writings on the wall, from the pyramid text in the actual Bible, taken and collided into create God and Jesus. And as they're creating astrology, they implement that in with the Bible too. So because that all comes from the Ptolemies, astrology and the biblical writings. So that's why the Bible is literally astrology within the Bible. And they took the stories of the Neter and superimposed themselves and created their own characters that look like Greeks into the writing. So these are the actual facts of what's presented, and you can't really deny it. I mean, you can, but I just showed why that happens, and it's because of the fear, right? Fear of burning in the lake of fire. You have to believe. You have to believe, or you'll be cursed. You'll get dung spread on your face, and your children will be cursed. So since we know this story of a lake of fire in Revelations can only date to 70 AD, is there any writings? Are there any writings of this prior? So here we have page 48, plate 10. He liveth upon the enemy, watching bite that of the lake of fire. Set right here. Set, the word for fire. Devouring bodies and swallowing hearts and voiding filth, not being seen himself. Who then is it? Eater of millions is his name, he being within the lake of fire. As concerning the lake of fire, it is that one which is in Anrutef, near the Shinyu chamber. Now treader every upon it unclean, he falleth to the knives, otherwise said, Medes is his name, the guardian of the door, Pu of Amentet. So here, 1250 BCE, we have writings of a lake of fire. And that is where devouring of bodies and swallowing hearts happened, the voiding of filth, not being seen himself. It's where the eater of millions, where his name, him being within the lake, the eater of millions. He, it's also the word for eternity with the ka, the two arms up with the ka. As concerning the lake of fire, it is that one which is in Anrutef, near the Shinyu chamber. Now everyone who treads upon it, unclean, he falleth to the knives. So of course, being unclean, and which is what they translate the biblical writings into, what they call sin and all of these things. But as you see here with the lake of fire, it has nothing to do with believing in a specific deity. It has nothing to do with just belief in something. That's why the whole Pert and Heru teaches you how to become clean, how to become pure. That's why the same word for heart is pure. Ebe. Ebe is pure. Ebe is also the heart. And it's shown with pouring of a libation, which is why libation creates the word gut, and that creates the word God. Being clean, being pure. And that's what the entire Pert and Heru is teaching you, how to become clean, how to cleanse yourself from all these false matrices that exist within you, how to clean yourself from the Isfet, all the chaos. And that's also why we're having the Maat Wednesday class. That is the exact reason why I wanted to have this Maat Wisdom Wednesday class, is to have the instructions to be able to cleanse yourself from the Isfet, to know what it is that we need to do to walk in truth, to walk in Ma'at, to be great, to be ready, right? Great is Ma'at and ever at the ready. Search thyself for every flaw thoroughly until there exists in your comportment none. Why? Because you don't want to go into the Netter Kurt with any of that Isfet, with any of that weighing of the heart, that weight on the heart that keeps you from being able to fly, right? And traversing over or through this lake of fire that burns anything that's unclean. So it's good for us to have knowledge of this and not just say, oh, you're going to be thrown into a lake of fire. You're going to be thrown into a lake of fire because of just because you don't believe in a specific thing, right? Because you don't believe in someone. It's up here. Let's see. Yeah. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. And this is the second death. And whoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Okay. So yes, right here. It is talking about this book of life, or is it talking about this book of life? The book of life used to guide the deceased into eternal life. What is this second death it speaks of? Well, chapter Ray intempt, chapter of not dying, with the word for dying, mut, a second time in the netter kurt. So here, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And here is a chapter of not dying a second time in where? In the netter kurt, where the lake of fire is. So how do they know that? Because they had the writings, because they were right there in Kemet. They were right there putting the netter on their cuirass. They were right there putting the netter on their decrees that made you a king. That's what the Ptolemies worshipped. That's what the people worshipped, was the netter, as this Bible was being written and the stories were being stolen from. So of course there's going to be a second death written about in the Bible, because there's a chapter of not dying a second time in the netter kurt that's written in 1250 BCE, prior to any Greek even writing. So this is what fear keeps you from. The original true teachings of life and death, the true ways of preparing oneself for the judgment of self, to become light and fly like a hawk. This takes consciousness of the reality that exists and daily consistency moving towards it. Absolutely. So if you want to be able to join the Maat Wisdom Wednesday class, reach out to us. Say, I want to become a member, and you'll be able to get in that class for free. I do not speak evil in the place of Maat, every day advancing towards Maat. Anki and Maat, un in es, nente aset and Maat. Right here. I do not speak evil in the place of Maat, every day advancing in Maat. John 11:25 and 11:26. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall live. So once again, it's about belief. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Revelations chapter 1, 18 through 19. I am he that liveth and was dead. And behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys of hell and death. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. So we see how it's about belief when it comes to the Bible. There's no actual spiritual work that has to be done. Sure, they'll say, oh, we got moral laws, Proverbs, this, that, and other, but where is it actually teaching you about outer body experience? If you talk to any Christian about that, they'll attach it to a demon somehow. Where is it teaching you about being able to wake up in your dreams? The same word for dream, upesh, is up, which means to rise, and to sleep is ak, which is the same word for to wake up. So where does the Bible teach you about waking up in your dreams? Oh, it doesn't? Page 120, plate 18, chapter of coming forth by day and what? Living after death. Ankh imket mit, living after death. Saith Asar, Ani, hell, only one shining from the moon. Hail, only one, shining from the moon. Pert, let come forth Asar, Ani, this among thy multitudes, those outside. Let be established him among the Khu, among the shining ones. Let be open to him the Duat. Let it be open to him. Behold, Asar, Ani, shall come forth by day, shall Pert Heru, and do what? And Arit murdered Tep, shall his will upon earth among the living. So right here in plate 18, a chapter of coming forth by day and living after death. So attaining life after death, right? So these are very powerful teachings and tones and sound vibrations that is necessary. And this is why the Pert Heru was created, right? Because right here in Revelation 1:19, write the things which thou hast seen, right? In 1:18, I am he that liveth and was dead, Asar. And behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. Ra, which is also Asar, is a representation of that. Asar, or Asara, and have the keys of hell and of death. Why? Because he went to the Neter Kurt and was resurrected. And because of that, because he was the first one to die and bring about life, as Aset and Nebtet were able to collect his members and resurrect him. Res, which is the word rise, and metaneter is res, and erect him. He was able to bring forth the knowledge of that which he has seen, that which are, and the things which shall be hereafter, the afterlife, right? The living after death. So Hinu to Asar for bringing forth how to teach us how to find life after death. Hinu to the Natiru. And shame to the ones who stole it and gave it to Yahweh and Jesus, and say that Lord lives in truth, that the Lord loves righteousness and truth, and is completely lying throughout the entire biblical writings. It does not pay homage to where it came from. Shame to you, Henu to the Natiru. What Jesus is referring to is, of course, the Pert Heru, the writings given by Tehuti of the travels of Asar in the Neter Kurt, or the afterlife. He who gives the keys of hell and of death, the one who liveth forever, the one who teaches you life after death. This Pert Heru is just one of thousands. This papyrus of Ani is the most famous and one of the most complete, but it is by far not the only one. Let me now show you just a few of these beautiful Pert Herus that the Greeks and Romans had access to, so they could integrate the Natiru into God and Jesus and use that to control the planet with the sound vibrational spells of belief and fear. They even utilized these writings for themselves, as I showed on the coffin. And as I'll show with Pert Herus being created all through the Greek time, from 332 when Alexander the Greek took over Kemet into 30 BC with the Romans taking over from Cleopatra. So they knew the power of belief, which is why it's connected to the word love. So here we have, and we have known and believed that the love that God hath to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. So right here, they're attaching love to God, God is love, and he dwelleth in love, and who dwelleth in God, and love dwelleth in him. So here is love made perfect. So let's look at the word love, right? Labu is where the word love comes from. To care, desire, love. It forms all part of what? Belief. Permission liberally granted to do something, libido. Live long, love. So belief and love comes from the same word, labo. And it's because they understood that our love drives our motivation. That love is something that's hard to scale, right? The power that exists within that controls your thoughts, right? And it's what you believe. To believe something creates your reality therein. You know, because your attention is what makes those waves become more direct particles to create the reality that you see, and that is associated with your attention. So therefore, if they take your belief and they tie that into love, so now our love is injected into this religion. Now our love is injected to Jesus. We love Jesus, and it's coincided with just belief. That's why belief is all about belief when it comes to Jesus. It's only about belief, believing in him, which is love. It comes from the same word, labo. So that's why a lot of our people are trapped still, because of the love that they have for these writings, because that's what they knew. They integrated that into the actual creation of the Bible in the English language. Yeah, it's very powerful, but it's not more powerful than the real teaching of love from what the Meta-Netter teaches. And that's a whole nother class, and that'd be a great question to send into our AFFIRMATION Tehuti. What did the ancient Cometians teach about love? What is love? What words? Why is the word love and Meta-Netter associated with water? There's some great, that'd be a great question to ask. What is love in Maat? So this is why the biblical gospels, or the gospels, are so powerful. Though they have altered the true meaning of fear and utilized this against you for means of control, we have the true teachings, the Maat teachings. What does fear come from, and what does it mean? Let me come back to the chat and ask, what does the word fear mean? Does anyone know where that word comes from, or what it originally meant? Let me come back to the chat here. Shout out to everyone who is supporting. Shout out to all the super chats that have came in from Tanya 23 Experience and from Nicholas Noetic. Shout out to you all. I only see 2 Cash Apps so far in the Gmail, and I'll get to those here shortly. But if you appreciate what I'm bringing forth and you're learning something, Cash App Teachings of Maat, PayPal Teachings of Maat, and show your support and reciprocity for the time that it takes to bring this forth, and you're being fed with Maat and the real teachings of eternal life, which you can't put a price on, but we do support each other here. So if you appreciate what I'm bringing forth, please support the teachings. Okay. Angela Gates says, I don't know, Ani. Okay, good. Big Vapes put the thinking emoji. To our Primordial Thought 9 for putting the links up there. Please utilize those links if you appreciate this information. Okay. Tanya 23 Experience says, was it to shave their heads? I left something like that in the Bible before. or read something like that in the Bible before. No, but that is associated during different acts of war, when the Hebrew would kidnap the women and force themselves onto them. And after 30 days, they would shave their heads and clip their nails. But that's a whole nother teaching. But good observation. Okay, Stephen E says, not sure. Truth? Primordial Thought 9 put the Heru fist. Okay, let's get back into it. Okay, what does fear come from and what does it mean? Okay, so we have some I don't knows. Jason Kirkland says, I don't know. Stephen E says truth. Okay, well, let's look at it. Fear. Calamity, sudden danger, peril, sudden attacks, harm, distress. From pi, ped, a lengthened form of the verbal root per, to try and to risk, to take a risk, to try something. That's the original meaning of fear. From per. That word sounds very familiar. Per. To try to risk. So let's look at per. 3. Proto-Indo-European root meaning to try, risk, an extended sense from root per, forward, via the notion of to lead across, to press forward. It forms all parts of empirical, experience, experiment, expert, fear. So fear comes from the word per, which means to try something, to risk, and to move forward, to lead across. So that should completely break the spell of fear for anyone who's in the Bible and is fearful of asking questions, fearful of being sent somewhere that was a stolen place and twisted as to what the real lake of fire is. This definition here, fear, literally means forward, to move forward, to try something, to risk, to take a risk. So it's not just as time moved forward, it came on to create something that's dangerous or dealing with a sudden attack or peril or being scared. But fear just means to move forward. So to face your fears, to move forward, right? To forward, to lead across, to press forward. And per, of course, is what? Per ak, come in and go out, to come and go. The per right? The great house, the plate, the palace, or the pharaoh. So of course, per creates empiric, also creates empire, right? An empire, a general realm dominion, a realm of dominion. Authority of an emperor, supreme power and governing imperial power. From pi root in, which comes from the metanetter, in, to be in something. And parari, to order, prepare, from pi root per. Again, to produce, to procure. So to produce something. So per, of course, means forward, moving forward. That creates the word fear, which is why it's called the Pert in Heru, coming forth. That's where fear comes from. It comes from Pert, coming forth. So there is the direct association with death and fear, the fear of death, because Pert literally means to come forth after the physical body expires, and Pert then later creates the English word fear. And empire, because Per is also the great house. To produce something, to procure, because per is emotion, to procure something, the procession, the outcome, the result, to produce something, the result of something, to be active. And it also deals with sound, vibration, and utterance. Peru and Ra, right? The utterance. And the Pert Septet, the rising of Sothis or Sirius, the heliacal rising, which is the 70-day hidden star that rises after 70 days that allows the Nile to flood. And which is also why that 70-day is also associated with the what's known as the mummification process, the wrapping of the body and using the natron. That process is, guess what, 70 days. The same way, you're in that hidden state for 70 days, and after you're completed, now you're actual Sahu, you become a Sahu. And if you want to learn more about the Sahu, you can go into I did 2 classes, the 9 aspects of eternal life, and I went through all 9 of them, and Sahu is one of them. So that's a 70-day process as well, just like the heliacal rising of Sirius, or the Septi star, the 5-point star of Aset. So therefore then creates the Old Testament in Greek, which is the Septuagint, because of the 70 Hebrew scholars, or the 72, which they're interchangeable, and they tell you in the Septuagint itself, in the letter of Aristes, where 72 Hebrew scholars translated the writings from Hebrew into Greek, which is not real. That's a complete story that was created. But that's also why they took the 70, because they understood the frequency of the number 70 and how powerful it is, dealing with the inundation after the 70-day hidden state, and also the birth of the Sahu after the 70-day resting place of being inert, as your body is prepared for it to be eternal. And there is Pert, and coming forth. Created from fear. So let's keep going. Chapter of passing through Amenta and of coming forth by day. So now we're passing through Amenta, the hidden place by day. The Pert im Heru. Saith Asar, Ani, opened is Unu, shut is the head of Tehuti, perfect is the eye of Heru. I have delivered the eye of Heru, shining with splendors on the forehead of Ra. So this is why we even see people talking about a third eye, and the third eye being in the middle of your head. It's literally from the Upet Ra. The Apet Ra. Remember, I talked about Up, creating the word dream, and Up meaning to rise. And Up also is that which is in front, the forehead, which then creates the word kaput, which means chapter. That's why the chapter is also associated with Ra, because Ra is the one who is up front. He's the leader. He's the head of the Natiru. And that's why that's the first word in the actual utterances of the Pert and Heru. So that comes from Up. And Upet is forehead with the bull horns of Ra, the father of the Natiru. I am Asar, Nook Asar, that same dwelling in Amentet. Knoweth Asar his day. Not did he exist there, not shall I exist there. I am Yah. I am the moon among the gods, not come to an end I. Tim, right there, is the word for completion. And that's why when you see the pharaohs in the position of the arms across the chest, that's the Timti. That means complete. And so here it says on, which created the word no today. No or not come to an end. I standeth up then Heru. He hath counted thee among the netter. And here's a beautiful image of Ani and his mate, his himti, his neteret, Tutu. And here you actually see her in a lot of the pictures. You'll see her colored as extremely pale. And a lot of people say, well, that's why are they? And that was a question that I had way early on. And of course it deals with the mourning of so when you would mourn, you become more flushed, and it was a ritual that they performed to recreate the lamentations of Isis or Aset and Neptet. So they would paint themselves white. But here is a more image of her with more of her natural color here. Okay, so let me introduce you to the oldest known papyrus inscribed with the Pert Heru. So now we're going to get into more Pert Heru. So here is British Museum number EA9900, the papyrus of Nebseni, 15th century BCE. So this is the oldest known papyrus inscribed with the Pert Heru. The papyrus of Ani is 1250 BCE. This papyrus here is 15th century BCE. Right here, the papyrus of Nebseni. And with his mate Israel, with the water lily, smelling the water lily up to her nose and one on her head. Right, sitting with the Ankh here, which Ankh is the word for mirror. Very beautiful, and he has a scribal palette here. And then here's also the word, the ger shesh, the scribe palette right there, sitting at the offerings. And this is his son playing the position of a priest. And this is kind of an abnormal way of the Pert Heru and how it's written. So let me see if I go up here and see if I can find something up here. Okay, so here, when we look at the Pert Heru of Ani, we start right here. This is where the Pert Heru starts, right here at the top right, and you read, you read towards the writing. Whichever way the direction of the writing is facing is where you read towards. So it goes down like this, and then down like that, and continues. So as we see, we start in the top right corner there. But for this papyrus of Nebseni, the writings, yes, are written from right to left, but we actually start up here. So it's actually going in the direction of where the sun is facing. And that's how this papyrus is written here. So as you see, the Cheta, Ra, Pert, and so it's starting right here. The name of the chapter is in red. And so you start here and then you work your way from left to right. So let's use the abnormal way to create the papyruses, but this is how this one is written, which is the oldest one we have. So you see some beautiful imagery here. Here is what's known as the lake of fire. So this is absolutely powerful, very beautiful. So now, here is the oldest of the painted papyri, ascribed with the Pert Heru. British Museum number 10477, the Papyrus of Nu, 14th century BCE. And here we have the Papyrus of Nu, the Pert Heru of Nu. And this right here is what's known as the 42 negative confessions. That's what they call them. It's really called the Pekka Menkhu, the removal of negative light. So here is the 42 Pekka Menkhu of Nu, 14th century BCE. Mid 1500s. And here we go here. More of his beautiful Pert Heru. The chapter of turning into a golden hawk. Absolutely beautiful, right? Ra, the transformation, the chapter, the Ra, the Reu of Keperu. Right, the chapter of transforming into a golden hawk, the hawk made of gold, the noob. Thou sayest. So here's him, beautiful, and here's an image of his lake of fire, right here in his papyrus, with the fire glyph right here, the ket, and the lake, with the four corners surrounding it. And this is the papyrus of Nu. And here is the papyrus of Mut Hetep, British Museum number EA 10010, 1070 BCE. There's another fantastic, beautiful Pert and Heru with her Ba, which this is a female. So she is also becoming an Asar. And I asked a beautiful question to bring this forth to show that women are also to become an Asar, to be resurrected as they also traverse through the Netter Kurt. So yes, women also had their own Pert and Herus, and they also came forth as Bas, just as Asar, right here, with Aset and Neptet on both sides here. So very beautiful. All right, now we're going to go to the BNF. It's a Museum of France, Egyptian, 1 through 19, Papyrus of Padia Mon Neb Nes Utawi, 332 to 30 BCE. So here is a papyrus of me when I was talking about how they also kept the Pert and Herus through the Greek times during the time of the writing of the Bibles, which is 287, the Septuagint. Here's in between that time, Pert and Herus still being written. So we still see this Pert and Heru here. Giving offerings. Beautiful. Asar, Aset and Neptet in the boat. Right, giving adoration in the Ka position is Tehuti. Right, the bull. And there's Ebe right there. Him pouring out the libation to become pure, to become cleansed. Okay, here's another papyrus, the Papyrus of Nakat, 18th Dynasty, BM EA 10471. So here's Nakat with the Ka holding the sun, all right, over Maat. And there you have it right there, Maat. And then Asar right here with these beautiful lake here surrounding the trees. And here's Nakat and his mate with the sistrum. And then here's a picture of his lake of fire. So this was this was very common in the Pert and Herus, because that's a literal chapter. And this is the imagery to go along with the chapter. So they so you find this in many Pert and Herus, the lake of fire. And here's his the papyrus, the Pert and Heru of Nakat. Okay, here's another beautiful papyrus, CG 2409, the papyrus of Mehi Pere, 1400 BCE. And Mehi Pere in the Ka position in the adoration, wearing all white, to Asar with his offerings here, with the water lily. You see the bread, you see the thigh, right? The thigh there. So yes, 1400 BCE, this beautiful papyrus here, this great brother, Mehi Pere. Okay, so now that we know the Pert and Heru is the book of life that even the Bible mentions, let us correct those who say book of the dead with book of life. May we all utilize these writings to live within Ma'at and practice for the final ejaculation of the body. I will conclude with the words of Tehuti himself from chapter 1 of the 190 chapters of the Pert and Heru. So I'm just going to leave this image up, take this image in of Tehuti, and I am going to read directly from my own personal book. There's not going to be any words to follow along with. I just want you to listen to the sound vibration with this image in your mind. And let's take in the great words of Tehuti, the one who brought forth the writings of the Pert and Heru. Okay, so here we go. The beginning of the chapters of coming forth by day, and of praisings and glorifications of coming forth from and going into the Neter Kut, glorious in Amentet, the beautiful, to be said on the day of the burial, going in after coming forth. Saith Asar, Ani, Asar the scribe, Ani, homage to thee, bull of Amentet. Behold, Tehuti, the king of eternity, is with me. I am the great God in the boat. I have fought for thee. I am one of those Netiru, the divine chiefs who make to be victorious Asar over his enemies on that day of weighing of words. I am thy advocate, Asar. I am one of those Netiru, born of Nut, slayers of the enemies of Osiris. Shut up the fiends for him. I am thy advocate. Heru, I have fought for thee. I have made the defeat of the foe for thy name. I am Tehuti, making victorious Asar over his enemies on the day that of the weighing of words in the dwelling of the old man mighty in Heliopolis and Anu. I am Techeti, the son of Techeti. I was conceived in Techetu. I was born in Techetu. I am with the weepers and the women who fall for Asar in the double land of Raket. Sama'akaru, making to be victorious Asar over his enemies. Ordered it, Ra, Tehuti, to make victorious Asar over his enemies. What was ordered did for me, Tehuti. I am with Heru on the day of clothing, Tesh Tesh, opening the storehouses of washing, the steel of heart, unbolting the door of concealed things in Reistiu. I am with Heru, protecting shoulder that left of Asar in Sekhem. I go in and I come out from the flames on the day of destroying the fiends in Sekhem. I am with Heru on the day of the festivals of Asar, making the offerings on the 6th day of the festival of Tanach in Anu. I am the Ebe priest in Techetu, Reri, in the temple of Asar, lifting up the earth. I see the concealed things in the Rasteu. I read the book of the service of the Ba in Techetu. I am the Sim priest in his belongings. I am the great chief of the work on the day of placing the Hindu boat of Seker upon its sledge. I have received the spade on the day of digging the earth in the Sutin Hinin. O ye who make to enter, by you the souls perfected in the house of Asar. May ye make to enter the Ba perfect of Asar. The scribe Ani victorious with you in the house of Asar. May he hear ye as ye hear. May he see as ye see. May he stand as ye stand. May he sit as ye sit. O givers of cakes and beer to souls perfected in the house of Asar. Give ye cakes and beer to the double season to the Ba of Asar Ani, victorious before all the Neter and Atu, victorious Ma'akaru with you. O openers of the way, openers of the roads to souls perfected in the house of Asar. Open therefore ye to him the way, open therefore ye the roads to the soul of Asar, the scribe, accountant of divine offerings of all the Neter, Ani triumphant with you. May he go in with confidence. May he come forth in peace from the house of Asar. Not may he be repulsed, not may he be turned back. May he go in as he pleaseth. May he come forth as he desireth. May he be victorious. May he be done his commands in the house of Asar. May he walk. May he speak with you. May he be glorified soul with you. not has been found his defect there. The scales have been emptied of his trial. Those are the words directly from Tehuti, concluding the first chapter of the Pert and Heru. And that concludes my presentation of the Pert and Heru, Book of the Dead, or the Book of Life. And I hope you all enjoyed that and was able to learn something, and I was able to correct some things. So Tua to everyone for supporting, Tua for your attention given to this class. I know there's a lot of information being disseminated, so Tua, and I appreciate everyone who appreciates this information. And I look forward to being able to continue to bring these type of presentations to you all and meeting you all in person at the Pathways to Awakening event. So Hotep Maat, Tua, support if you appreciate this information. Cash App, Teachings of Maat, PayPal, Teachings of Maat, or utilize the super chat if you really appreciate this and help to keep the scales balanced through reciprocity. So Tua and Hotep Maat.
Hey. Listen, bro. Hey, homage to you, my brother, for being an echo at Tehuti. Hey, homage to you. How you beat me to drop the bombs, bro? And oh man, 2 out for that, brother. 2. Can y'all hear me? Is my mic up? I don't know if I'm up. Hey, 2 out for that great teaching, brother. Yo, listen. That was excellent, my brother. That was absolutely phenomenal. As always, you always come with that fire, brother. So I just want to give you homage for making the Natiru proud, my brother. And definitely for breaking these matrices. I see you got a lot of flames and stars. Shout out to Angela Gates, Nicholas Noetic, Bosfi. They all giving you props, my brother. So that's what we have to do, brother. We definitely have to give adoration where it's due, because no one out there, no other channel besides our great Saba is breaking these matrices like this. It's interesting today because my son's mother, she went to a Kemet last month, and she came back with some gifts for my son and her other children. Beautiful gifts, I might add. And one of the gifts was a necklace with his name in it, and of course the shin. So I asked him, what was it? And of course he said the cartouche. What they said, they on that deaf culture. So I had to educate him and correct him. But it's just beautiful, brother. It's beautiful for let me just say something. Right now, the time that we are in, right now, what's going on right now in real time is just not happening. It's not happening because everything is a lie. Me and my goddess was watching. I don't know if y'all was in the Sunday class, but it was a lot of Isfet going on in the chat a little bit earlier in Friday's class. So I was just showing my goddess the debate that our great Saba had with that Isfet. And it's just, oh man, it's just to be able to witness Maat being revealed in real time is just a beautiful thing, and I'm just grateful for that. Shout out to you, Jason Kirkland. That's right, Nefa teaching, because we're not getting this type of truth, right? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but Maat. It's not being revealed like this. For a very long time, I thought that's what it was called, the Book of the Dead. I had no knowledge. If it wasn't for our great Saba and his students and what he brings forth with us, as well as the great Ani, it's just I'm like speechless, man. I can't even. It's hard to even gather my words because I'm so grateful to be able to stand next to this type of to this brother, and I have to give him adoration. You know, I have to celebrate. We have to celebrate our leaders, rather they're older than us, younger than us. You know, I was talking to a person. I was talking. I work in the hospital, so I was talking to a young man, and he was telling me he was showing his appreciation for some of the rap music of today, and he was saying that he really likes the music of the old, and we were just having a conversation, just dialoguing, and he asked, what's wrong, like what's the difference between the music now, because he noticed the deterioration in the tone. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing about it is that people don't respect the elders. They don't respect the truth. They don't respect their leaders. And when I say elders, your leaders don't have to be older than you. They could be younger than you. They could be older than you. It doesn't matter. But the thing about it is that now we've come to a place in time to where if you have more quote unquote money than that person, then there's no respect. It has nothing to do with knowledge. It has nothing to do with what they could teach you or not. The disrespect is just out of hand. And I told him, I said, what happened is, I said, a lot of these young brothers now have more financial money, which is that's a whole spell in itself, than the older brothers, or the ones that have the wisdom, the ones that have gone through some of the things that they're trying to help the young brothers avoid. And it's a shame. It really is a shame, because we need leaders and we need people like you, Ami. So I appreciate you, brother, and I appreciate these teachings, because I was sitting back, brother. I'd be taking my notes, but I was just so engulfed in the teachings, brother, that I didn't take very many notes, because I was just listening. I was just absorbing it. And I'm just grateful, brother. I just have to give you your adoration, young, old. I know you're a young brother. We're forever young. I tell people I'm young too. They try to make me be old, but yeah, I got to give you adoration, brother. Hindu to you for that, brother. And it's just a beautiful thing. And as I tell my great Saba, I'm honored to stand next to you, brother, and sit at your feet and learn. Because I was able to get a lot from this, and I'm definitely going to be running it back as well, because this is definitely one for the book. So I hope everyone out there is taking notes, and just understanding what's going on here. That it doesn't matter, and of course, as we know, and Tua for the Wednesday, for the Wisdom Wednesday too, for bringing that forth too, because that's absolutely necessary to go over the instructions. But it's just the time that we are in. It's just so necessary for people like you, brother. And I just have to celebrate you. I don't know. What's so crazy is that if this was another platform, they would say things like pause and no homo and stuff like that, right? But this isn't what's going on. This is a safe space. So I'm gonna continue to give you your adoration, and people can continue to say what they want to say, because that isfet is there, and as Saba said, that balance is necessary. That isfet is necessary. So, man, two out to you, brother, for this great teaching, as I said, brother. So, bombs dropping. I gotta go ahead on and drop my bombs, because you had beat me to it. I was trying. It's beautiful, man. It is absolutely beautiful. So, two out for that, my brother. I don't know if Menkhu is still celebrating his Earth Day, but shout out to Menkhu.
I'm here. Peace and love. I just want to echo your sentiment, Atef, because Ani is a natural. When it comes to teaching, I feel like he is in alignment with everything that's happening in his energy. He is a natural teacher. I don't want to speak for Ani. From my ka and my ba feels that my intuition feels like he was born to teach, and it's very natural for him, and he does it effortlessly, the same way Saba Tahuti teaches. And I think one thing that will really benefit our people is more people who actually love teaching, right? And can actually teach, right? Like, it's not for everyone. You have to be it. Like, you have to live it. You have to actually love it. And that's one of the biggest problems that's happening in our school. And one of the things that I learned is that if people don't love us, they should not be teaching us. And so in our schools, there's mad people teaching our children, and they don't love our children, and they don't feel an obligation to teach them the truth, right? And so you talk about what's special about Ani's teaching, and this energy that we're in with Saba Tahuti is ancestral artifacts, you know what I mean, over religious opinion. And so starting from that foundation already makes it a very powerful teaching, a very loving teaching to reconnect us to our true identity. And there's so much power in that. And, you know, there's no shortcut for dedication, commitment, passion. You can't replace those things. You can't. And when that is embedded and imbued with this energy, right? This echoing of the netters, the language of the netter, what happens, what's supposed to happen is happening. And so it's to see in real time the emergence and the livity of the Neteru through everything that we're building. It is the new Kemet, right? It's Maat consciousness, and you can't get that anywhere else. What Saba taught on Friday about my Ren and the background, he's teaching straight off the temple walls, right? And then Ani is teaching straight from the Pert and Heru. Like, that's like, it's like, you know how precious and powerful that is? This is what their attempt to take from us. So this is our reparation. This is our inheritance. This is the love and the guidance that we actually need. And so this is, I pay homage. I give gratitude. I am forever in debt to you brothers for, like Saba with the image, putting the Ankh to my nose and resurrecting us, right? We're all being rebirthed, so that we're all being woken up so we can dream and so we can live the life that we're supposed to live. So Ani is a master teacher. He is a master teacher. I can't crown him a master teacher because I'm not a master teacher, but I know master teachings, and I know he's being groomed by the master teacher, and that's the direction that he is going in. And it's a beautiful pathway of awakening is what we're all in. And so Tua to you, Ani, Tua to you, Atef, for building a new Kemet and being scribes in this digital era. And so much adoration to both of you brothers.
Nini Uk, Nini Uk, Tua Atef Rem Kim, for your adoration as well. Your very powerful words, and you Menkhu Ara, you brothers are some powerful pillars, and you know, for us to echo this energy is very beautiful. So to our great brothers, for your words, for your tachet, because it just fills me with life and light. So to our for everything that you all are doing as well. And this is something that is that has never been done before. We're doing something completely new as far as rebuilding Kemet and bringing back the teachings of Maat from the scribes themselves, and leading by example with that. Programming ourselves of what it means to give reciprocity to each other, to appreciate each other, to keep each other's scales balanced. We're definitely recreating and reprogramming that deep subconscious that I broke down here in this presentation with these words, these English Masonic words, and these Bible verses that we live our lives by, even if we don't understand that that's what we're doing. Even if you don't read the Bible, because of the culture that you live in, you live by that, even if you don't know it. So to our great brothers for breaking out of the matrix so we can all stand together and rebuild this. Let me give a shout out to Angela Gates. She says, I'm loving class on East and in support this week. Tua for that. Good sister. We appreciate you. You're always in class and present. You're always in the Discord meeting present. Look forward to meeting you in the Pathways to Awakening celebration. So Heru to you. Big Vapes gives the hand claps. Tua. And let's give another shout out to this good brother, Nicholas Noetic. But boom. Tua for the fear per breakdown. Ani, I think that's your fourth donation. So this brother is caring. He is absolutely appreciative of the information that he's receiving, and that's his fourth support. So Tua, good brother Nicholas Noetic for the 25 NOK. Altogether it's right around $15 or $16. So Tua, you are excellent, good brother. You come right in and you're already following Maat, before even being able to digest all these teachings, and you're already coming in and giving reciprocity, because you understand what you're in the presence in. I know that's what makes me want to support, when I know where I'm at and I know who I'm amongst and I'm able to receive something that changed my life. I always show support, and you do that as well. And you came right on in and started showing support. So let me give you some hand claps. Thank you for this amazing presentation. Tua for your work on Nini Uk. Tua for your attention. Shout out to Boss Fee, Black Alucard, Flames Up, with the 100 emoji. To our good brother, Boss Fee. Appreciate you for being here in class. Know you're doing some great things behind the scenes. Know you're getting your studies on. So to you, good brother.
Thanks for the knowledge.
Thanks for the knowledge.
To you, good brother. I know that's what you're saying. Thanks for the knowledge. Peace and love to you. Awesome.
Jay Kirkland, Nefer Teachings. To our good brother. Look forward to seeing you in the Maat Wednesday class. I hope you can make it to that. Eric G put great breakdown, brothers. Shout out to you, Eric G. I did get your message. I didn't have a chance to respond back to you, but Tua for reaching out to me and for letting me know that that shows a lot. So Tua for taking initiative on that and keeping me aware of your situation and letting me know. I truly appreciate that. So shout out to you, Eric G, for being here. And then Maharu says, Tua, Heru, I need great reawakening teaching. Yes, absolutely. Tua to you. Okay, let me show the support that came in. Let me show this. Let me show the great supporters of Maat, the people who really appreciate what we're bringing forth and helping us do what we need to do to keep all of this running. Everything you see. but you know, we do everything we do is at the highest level. So you know, we appreciate the ones who appreciate us. Okay, so let me start with Big Vapes, formerly known as Righteous. $5 for Ahati presentation, 8/27/2023. Yes, two out to this good brother who is also a member of the teachings of Maat, who also will have access to the free class, the Wisdom Wednesday class, starting September 6th. So I look forward to seeing you there, good brother. Big Vapes, and two out for your support. All right, next we have Stephen E., our latest active member, who has been active for a long time, and now he stamped it and finalized it by becoming a TON member. He sends in 1072 for Heru Nefer Senu Tua. Tua to you, good brother Stephen E. You support very graciously, and we appreciate all that you do and the support that you give, and look forward to you know, implementing you in more with the team. And you know, I definitely know that you will do some great things and earn some position, and I look forward to that, good brother. So two out to you for making those steps. Heru. Okay, next we have the great brother Nito Campbell, who sends in it's his second donation, his $9 for Peace Everyone. I wasn't expecting that one. It was a new one. To Nito Campbell. Yes, good brother. Squano trending in the chat. I don't see you too much in the chat, but I know you're watching. To you, the most consistent supporter on YouTube for sure. I don't even know how long it's been going on, but you've been consistently supporting every week, and that is that reciprocity is building up for your ka. Tua, good brother, for everything that you do. Okay, and let's see. All right. Next, we have the great moderator, Primordial Thought 9. $10. Tua for your divine light. Ani PTAH ATEN TEHUTI. Renew. Tua to you, great brother. One of our active members who will also, you know, have access to our Maat Wisdom Wednesday class, our free class that I'm hosting every first and third Wednesday, starting September 6th. So I look forward to seeing you in class as well, and you know, building upon the teachings of Maat and learning the wisdom literature that the ancient scribes, the beautiful scribes, brought forth for us. And we're going to go over them, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful and very powerful. So two out to you, good brother, for being a great moderator and for playing your part and playing your position extremely well, and for your support. Two out for that. All right. And lastly, who's still sending in support, even though he had let me know that he might not be able to this class, but he still found a way. This good brother, Eric G. That's it. Sends in 333 to our netters. Okay, yes, to our good brother, you still found a way, and that's what it's about. Like that goes so far. I really appreciate that. We appreciate you. You're extremely consistent, and look forward to you becoming a member. Because you already play a good role, and you're a great supporter. And here in the Pathways to Awakening celebration, our great Sabbath Tehuti is going to be bringing forth some announcements, and we're gonna add on to our RIN and become solidified. We're gonna become solidified. So as we're building, all of you who support us, you all are the foundation. So Tua for everyone. You guys are the reason why we're able to do what we do, why we're able to organize a gathering and bring everyone together and have the website that we have, and bring forth the level of everything that we do. This isn't when you see anything that we do, it's going to be the best. So and that's just by default because we're the netters. So hotep to you, good brother Eric G. And we appreciate your support. Okay, so that is the support that we received in. Hotep Maat to everyone who supports. Those who are watching on the playback, the links are in the description box right here below. Teachings of Maat, Cash App, and PayPal. And if you do Ethereum, if you have cryptocurrency, the Ethereum, then you can also go to teachingsofmaat.org/donate and follow the directions there. So if you use Ethereum, be sure to send me an email of the screenshot so I know what's yours, and I can attribute that to you. So to everyone who supports that way as well. Heru, I'll give some closing statements before we close out. Be sure you all get your tickets to the Pathway to Awakening celebration. That link is in the description box. It's the first link. Get your tickets. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. This is the energy you're going to be able to take with you for months and months at a time. It's going to be very powerful. So be sure to get your tickets, scan the QR code, or go to teachingsofmaat.org/events and get your tickets. Maat Wisdom Wednesdays. Hold on, let me get the new one up. Maat Wisdom Wednesdays. Class held every first and third Wednesday of every month, starting September 6th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. That can be subject to change depending on the members, and if we all come together as a collective and come up with a better time together. I'm willing to be more flexible on that time, but for now it's from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Exclusive private class for TOM members only. Ask how to become a member today. Becoming better men and women, one instruction at a time, to become netters and netterus. Hosted by PTAH ATEN TEHUTI, Maat Wisdom Wednesday. Become a member. Reach out to us and ask how to do that. Metanetter Monday. Email mysticaltelevision@gmail.com so you can get the Metanetter classes. We have 48 right now. Each class is $20, so you can do a little bit at a time, or you can do like the sister Sherry Ka did, and she got basically all of them within a couple weeks, and because she takes the information seriously, and she she's here to become a netterette. So shout out to you, Sherry Ka. Shout out to everyone who got the Metanetter classes 45 and 47. If you got 47, you need 48 because that's part 2 to 48, the who and the sa. So to everyone who's participating in that. teachingsofmaat.com is our one-stop shop. It's a one-page website. So teachingsofmaat.org, the organizational website, is everything in detail. teachingsofmaat.com is a one-page synchronized website where you can just click on all the links very quickly. So you also have access to that. Our Discord meeting is this month on the 31st. So make sure you're a part of that. Be there. It's always fantastic. It's going to be great. So make sure you're part of our Discord meeting. I also am creating a room for the Maat Wisdom Wednesday class in the Discord that only the members will see and have access to. So all members, make sure you're in the Discord. All right, this was the Pert and Heru Books of the Dead, or the Book of Life, brought into existence by PTAH ATEN TEHUTI, and with my shin there, with the scribe at the front end. And I heard you say your son had gotten one, and look, my Netorette, she had got me one. Let me see if I can put my shin in there.
That's beautiful right there. It kind of looks similar to that. It's definitely, that's beautiful, my brother.
Ani PTAH ATEN, and then the Neter Tehuti. So, and she put Nesubiti at the top. Tua, and shout out to my Neteret, Nefer Keperet. So yes, Tua everyone for being a part of class. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the supporters, all the ones who give us your attention, the ones who watch on the playback. Run the numbers up. Share this video out. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the teachings of Maat. For those of you who have Christian family members or friends, or those who are in the Bible or Hebrew, send them this class, and it can open their eye to the realities that we exist in, and cleanse that eye as Tehuti does, so that you can see like Maat does. So Hotep everyone, Tua for your attention, because without that this could never exist. Hotep Maat, and may you all have a fantastic week. Get your MetaNetter Monday classes, and I'll see you all either in MetaNetter Monday or see you in the pod class Friday. Hotep Maat, Hotep Meri, peace and love.
Hotep, peace and love. Menkhu, you got some closing words?
Tua Ani for your excellent teachings today. Tua to you, Atef, for being the hostess with the mostest. Peace and love to the chat for your attention, for your support. And I look forward to seeing everybody in the MetaNetter class as well, and on Friday in the pod class.
Hotep, peace and love. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everyone, sharing everyone's energy at the get together. I can't believe it's been a whole year coming up. It's like, it's beautiful, brother. Time has flown, and it seems like it was just yesterday when we were sitting down and formulating what we was gonna do, and I still don't know what's going on. It's a beautiful thing, my brother. Oh man, it's been a whole year already. It's beautiful. That's how it is, right? It just happens so quickly, and it's come together so beautifully and so wonderful that it's absolutely phenomenal, brother. So, like I said, it's an honor to stand next to you, brothers, and it's an honor to learn from you, sit at your feet and learn, because that's all I want to do is learn, and that's how I got here. I just wanted to learn, and it got me here. So, Tua for all your appreciation, Tua for your support. teachersofmaat.org. Come join us. Y'all know what it is. No, it's fed. This is a safe space, man. It's a beautiful thing. And the most beautiful thing about it is, I just want to share with everyone real quick before we close out, because we've all come from those different religions and different walks of life, but the one thing that we can't argue is that we can't change history. History is what it is. And our culture, as well as so many other people's culture, has been stolen from them, and it has been taken from them, and it has been demonized and made to be spooky. So I just want to say, I'm so grateful for the Nethers. I'm so grateful for my ancestors to be so wise, to leave their writings and their literature and their customs, which is our customs, and to leave it in a way that my great brother Ani was able to disseminate, as well as the great Saba Tahuti, and I'm just, the thing about it is that I have something to be proud of now. I have a culture that I could celebrate, because the Ren that I thought was mine originally, the one that my mother gave me and my father, shout out to my mother, but that last name, for very many of us, it was used to denote ownership, and that's undeniable. So when I see so many of our brothers and sisters out there with the last name Smith, they don't celebrate their job, they don't celebrate blacksmith or whatever it is, and we know that, like I said, a lot of those names were used to denote ownership. So I'm just honored to be able to have a culture, to know, number one, what my original culture was, and then to be able to be proud of that culture. I celebrate with the Natiru. So Henu to all the Netters, and Henu to you, Ani, Henu to Menkhu, Henu to our great Saba Tahuti, Amenhotep Ra. My love is infinite, man, because my appreciation is it's infinite, because I would still be stuck in that matrix. I would still be, wandering around lost like so many of us were. So Tuah for that. And with that, we're going to close it out, with our beautiful affirmation, as we always do. So Hotep Ma'at, everyone have an excellent rest of your week. And I look forward to seeing you in Monday Metal Netta class or in Friday's class. I know you gotta drop that Wednesday. I'll be in the Matrix, but I need to get that class, my good brother. Wisdom Wednesdays, my brother. So shout out to you, Ani, for instituting that. Hotep Ma'at, peace and love, everybody. From the great wisdom and literature of our ancestors, from the Pert Heru, the book of life, the book of coming forth by day, and from the maxims of Ptah. Mighty, the Netters are rejoicing when they see Ra in his rising. Search thyself thoroughly for every flaw, until there exists in your comportment no fault. Great is Ma'at, ever at the ready. Unki and Ma'at, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Ma'at, Ninhepapet and Ma'at, Her and Hu Kui, Per Iku. I live for Ma'at, I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
Peace and love, everyone. Hotep, Black Alucard. We received your support. I seen it, but we'll show it. That'll be the first support we show on the next show. So to our great Black Alucard for that.
Thanks for the knowledge.
Thanks for the knowledge.
Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.